Like this. Hit it.
The Roger Report live morning show, weekdays at 9 a.m.
Say y'all, I was on Roger's panel a few times and I couldn't take it. The heat. I got out the kitchen. It was hot. I was sweating. I had to get out.
He's Roger, and he's right.
Check this out.
Agreement by which we can live or die. You choose. I have spoken to you a lot of times in hatred and anger, and you have not heard me. Well, you had better hear me today. If you won't listen to me when I make an appeal for the Negroes because you have no concern for the Negroes, listen to me when I make an appeal for America. You claim you love America. Well, we love America. But you are driving us back and you are making a Samson out of us, and we are going to pull down the pillars. And then you think we have no right to ask for something? Is it too much to ask you to grant us human dignity? Should we be put down and shot to death for this request? If so, you can aim your guns. What the hell do you think we care about dying if you're going to deny us the right to live?
Good morning, folks, and welcome to another edition of the Roger Report Live, the best show on social media. If you are new to the channel, go ahead and take a moment out to hit that like button, because this is where you're going to find the best content on social media, and you don't have to worry about it because you're going to have me right here to make sure that happens. And if you've already been coming to the channel for a while, then go ahead, hit that like button, because you already know what time it is, and you know that this is where you're going to get the best content on social media. It's not a mystery to you at this point. You've seen other people do it. You've even seen some people do it well. But what you have not seen is anyone do it quite the way I do it. So make sure you hit that like button. So and share the content out, y'all. Share the content out. There are so many people who need to get great content like this, and it's just a small thing you can do to help the world be a better place. And isn't that what we want at the end of the day? Don't we want the world to be a better place? Of course we do. So share the content out. Share it through your social media. Share it through word of mouth, or even text someone's phone. But do what you got to do to help spread the word. All right, y'all. Today we are back. We're going to have another interesting show. Yep. Check out that title, y'all. A show for mama. Okay? A show for mama. All right? Yes, y'all. It is the day after Mother's Day 2016. Okay, the day after Mother's Day 2016. And we're doing a show for mama. All right. Now, before we get too far into this, let me take a moment out to say shout out to all the people who gives me views on a regular basis, because y'all do make up the fam, and I appreciate you big time. Shout out to all the people who leave comments after the stream, because you are helping with the algorithm, helping the channel grow in a good and healthy way. Shout out to all the people who hype me up every chance they get, and because you can't hype up everybody all the time, man, it's special when you do it for me. All right, and I appreciate it. And shout out to everybody who hits that like button, okay? You know, y'all know that's a big deal around these parts. So keep it on up. And other people who ain't done it, join in with them. And make sure you hit that like button, y'all. Appreciate it big time. And we about to get going. But first, I want to say shout out to the people who go above and beyond the call of duty. We have people who truly support the channel in a great way. We have people who voluntarily become what we like to call here financial contributors, y'all. Now, I'm going to say not just people who give donations, because a financial contributor is a person who expects something back. They're contributing to something. And over here at the Roger Report Live, you get to contribute to the best content on social media. And that ain't something to take lightly. It ain't something to take lightly at all. Okay, so you're doing great work when you do it over here. And I want you to know I appreciate every single one of you. And that is real talk. And I'm going to give a special shout out to the Great Black Reset, who's going to be our sponsor of today's stream. Shout out to the Great Black Reset. He was the co-host on Friday's show. If y'all haven't seen Friday's show, definitely make sure you get around and seeing that. He was the co-host of Friday's show. His first time out hosting something. He was a co-host, but I think they did a pretty decent job. Okay, pretty good job, actually. You know, we want to keep it real. He did a pretty good job. He came like only the Great Black Reset could come. And I appreciate the great work that he did. And that's real talk. Okay. And tomorrow I'm on, honor the other co-host. Okay. That's how I'm gonna play that. I'm gonna honor the other co-host tomorrow. But shout out to the Great Black Reset for doing a fine job. All right. And let me give some shout outs to some of the first people to check in this morning, because y'all know how it go, and it's always good and right when you're first to check in, and y'all know how it is. There can only be one. So I want to say shout out to what we like to call around these parts, the Highlander of today's stream. My main man has done it again. Floyd Thompson is in the building. Great to have you, brother. Great to have you. Okay, now if you ain't been the Highlander of the stream, you messing up. And it's just how it goes. Okay, you messing up. Shout out to the RXs in the building. Great to see you. Great to see you. We got Trail Bentley in the house. What's good, my brother? What's good? Representing as he always does. Hashtag Long Little Habitual Line Stoppers. Hashtag Negroes in the Wilderness. Hashtag Dignity Over Vagina. Hashtag Al Gore's Babies. Hashtag Hell Hydra. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you. Shout out to Tunnel Runner. What's good, my brother? What's good? Great to see you. We got Jerome Payne in the house. What's good? Glad to have you. Glad to have you. We got Boot Camp in the building. Great to see you. Great to see you. Bucket is at the cool table. Now we know we got it right. We got Bucket at the cool table. We got User Op 1 also in the building. Great to see you. Great to see you. Brunk is chiming in. Great to have you, brother. Great to have you. And we got Nice sometimes checking in. Great to see you. Great to see you. Inspired Truth Broadcast just sat down at the cool table. Glad to have you. Glad to have you, y'all. We gonna do something a little different, y'all. A suggestion was made, we gonna do something a little different. Not necessarily different, I should say. But we do got to take time to honor the ones that count, y'all. We gonna have a show for mama. Okay? We gonna have a show for mama. All right? Everybody is gonna be welcome to come up here and tell your story about mama. Now I'm gonna do this to make it a little bit easier for some folk. I'm gonna make it a little bit easier for some folk. We're gonna tell a few stories about mama. Tell why mama is great. Hopefully we'll inspire some other folk. Hopefully. Okay? Hopefully we'll inspire some other folk. We might inspire some folks to be some good mamas or better mamas. Okay? Now, I can't guarantee you that they're going to change their ways. I can't do that. All I can do is try. So we're going to tell some things about our ideas of a good mother. And, we could tell some stories about something your mother did personally, or maybe a great thing that, some other mother did. Maybe you got a friend who had a mom that did something. Okay. But whatever you think is important, that's what's going to be welcome today. Okay. We're going to celebrate mama, y'all. We're going to celebrate mama. And if y'all don't understand, and I don't know how you wouldn't, but if you don't understand the picture that is on your screen, okay, we are celebrating a great woman. Okay. We've honored her before. Esther Rolle played one heck of a mama on the show Good Times, and Esther Rolle stood up for Black people. Okay, she was actually aligned with us. Believe that Good Times shouldn't be a show unless this woman was married. The character had to be married, and she put up a fit. Now, she ended up getting the show because she was on another show called Mod. She was liked so much, they said, hey, we're going to give her a spinoff. But while they were trying to spin this off, they was also trying to spin black folks in a certain direction and say, you know what? We like it. We want you to be on the show. All you got to do is be this broke black woman who no man would love. That's what they wanted to have shown to black folks. We want you to be this black woman that no man would love. But she said, no, I ain't playing them games with you. I am not playing them games. What I have a suggestion for it. Instead, we gonna do this, and she can be a married woman. Now, that wasn't just accepted, y'all. She truly had a fight on her hands simply for saying she want a character of this new show, that they expect to, do well, or at least I would hope would do well. She was like, no, she got to be married. She got to be, Studio wasn't digging that, though. Studio was not digging that. All right. Now, why the studio wasn't digging it, I can't tell you. I just know they wasn't digging it. It's that simple. All right. And it is what it is. That's on them. But she fought for us like a good mother would fight for her family. All right. And you know what? That's something we used to see a whole lot of back in the day. All right. We used to see a woman who would fight for her family. Okay. It wasn't just about her. It was about the family. All right. Now, seeing that I'm sure a good amount of y'all celebrated Mother's Day yesterday. I hope y'all are in good mood, good spirits about your moms. For those who you have lost your mom and all you have is memories, I hope you had a lot of great memories come up about your mother. And today we are going to celebrate the memories if you care to share them. Okay? If you care to share them. All right? And you know what? Even if you didn't have the best mama, she had to do something right. Okay? She had to get something right once or twice. It's some horrible mothers out there, but nobody is just all the way terrible. And just like no one's all the way perfect. So maybe you got one thing she did right or something. Okay. So we gonna celebrate the great things mamas did. Hopefully some still do, or even some new things that these new mothers have done. As the world changes a little bit, sometimes there's new things to pick up on. But I want to celebrate every mother who fought to keep her family together. Now, I know we don't see that as much nowadays, but I want to say shout out to every single mother who fought to keep her family together. All right. Now, what's some of the things that women have done to keep their families together? Well, first of all, you ain't listening to everybody all over the place about anything that they said that was going on with your husband. It's not what you did. Okay. That ain't what you did. You ain't listen to everybody. Now, you might listen to somebody that you truly trust, but you ain't listen to everybody talking about what your husband was doing. Okay. Shout out to every mother smart enough to know the snakes are around her. Okay. Women operate in this way where they see a guy doing what they consider is good for some particular woman. And instead of just congratulating that woman, a lot of women say, hey, if he's doing that for her, he should stop doing that for her and start doing it for me. Okay. And if not that, she'll say, well, if he's doing that for her, well, you know what? Maybe I can get in and get some of that. Maybe I can get some of that. So now she becomes the side piece, as they say. She wants some of that. All right. Guys got to remember, men don't operate like women. Women don't operate like men. We work on different codes that they just don't have nothing to do with. Okay. Not from a collective level. They don't have the codes that men have. All right. And that's on them. Okay. But again, y'all, we all had a mama. Okay. Hopefully, most of y'all had some good mothers, and you got something nice to share about your mother. Okay. Now, I tell you what, though, I'm gonna thank my mama because my mama did pray for me. Okay, did pray for me. Well, I mean that's something she do on a regular basis. Okay, but all right, when you are in bad situations, it is good to have the right people praying for you. And that's real talk. That's real talk. So, I've had my horrible situations go down. I had a real horrible situation go down where I ended up in a coma for a while. But I know my mama was praying for me. Okay. And not only would my mama pray for me, she would get other people's mamas to pray for me because I could have been gone. And that's just real talk. All right. Now, I know everybody don't necessarily believe in God, but I'm telling you, God brought me back because I was about to check up out of here. All right. I got way closer than I would have wanted to. And that's real talk. I ain't in no rush to get that close again. Okay. I ain't in no rush. But see, my mama prayed for me. And not only did she pray for me, she got other mamas to pray for me. Some of her sisters, my aunties, she got them to praying for me. She got some church folk praying for me. She had a general call for folks to pray for her son. See, my mama was looking out. My mama was looking out. And y'all may say, well, that don't even mean that. Well, it means something when you in a coma. I tell you that. It definitely means something when you're in a coma. When you can't do nothing for yourself and you got to depend on other people to do something for you, hey, it mean a whole lot then. It mean a whole lot then. So at least she did it because she didn't have to. Okay. She didn't have to enlist other people to pray for me. And there was a fair amount of moms. Now, I know somebody may say, well, what about the guys? Hey, we celebrating the mamas right now. We celebrating the mamas right now. So we ain't going to worry about what the guys did. I ain't saying the guys didn't do nothing, but I can say that there was a fair amount of actual moms that was praying for me. Some was praying me like they would do their own son. Some was praying for me like they would do a friend of a son. But either way, they did it enough to bring me back. So I'm good with that. And heck, since you listen to the Roger Report Live, you should be good about it too. Because if it wasn't for them, y'all would have never got this. And that's real talk. We'd have never got to this point if they didn't do what they did. So shout out to her. Now, I can always count on my mama to pray for me. That's something she's going to do every single day. She pray for her children. That's the mark of a great and wonderful mother. All right. And I see you backstage. I'm going to be bringing you up soon. All right. So just relax. I'm going to bring you up very soon. All right. Now, also, I'm going to say some of the stuff. Now, of course, some stuff I have learned from my mom and my dad. All right. And sometimes they were very much aligned on stuff. I can remember them being very, very much aligned on certain things. And I'm going to say shout out to my mama for basically doing the best she could to help teach me to be my own man. Now, I am not saying a mother can raise a man. I'm not saying that. But I do remember going to the store as a kid. And my parents would say, get what you want to get. Now, they have to prove on whatever you get. They got to approve it. But I can remember a specific time my mom would say, hey, do you like this? Or you just getting it to fit in or something like that? Because at the end of the day, you going to be stuck with it. Now, those was the words that stuck in my head. Okay. So when I buy something, I be like, man, if something go wrong, I'm gonna be the person stuck in it. So that stick with me to this day. All right. I buy a jacket, I'm gonna think about it. I'm gonna be the person stuck in it. I buy a car, I'm gonna be the person stuck in it. I buy anything, I'm gonna be the person stuck in it. All right. So at the end of the day, that helped a lot. That helped a lot. All right. And that's just real talk. All right. Now, I would say, y'all, shout out to, I guess this is Tim's. I don't know if Tim is talking to some particular person because this is the first time I see their name in here. Tim's just seemed to be a little upset. Look, Tim's, if the idea of your mama is bothering you that bad, then why don't you just relax? Okay, why don't you just relax? Now, y'all, I get it. some people have had horrible mothers. We cannot ignore the fact that some people have truly had horrible mothers the whole way through. Tim's might be one of those people, y'all. So everyone, hey, if you got a moment, show Tim some love, y'all. Show Tim some love. Maybe Tim's mama didn't care. Maybe Tim's mama abandoned him. You know, if this is a man, it could be a woman, because I think, if my memory is correct, it may be a female singer with the name Tim's. You know, not 100% sure, but I think it's a female singer with the name Tim's. So maybe this is a female, possibly. I'm always, you know, if you know proper English, when you don't know, you're supposed to go with the male. So I'm gonna say I don't know if Tim's is a man or a woman. So I'm a respectfully, you know, use a male terminology until we know better. Okay. Shout out to Trail Billy. He know what I'm talking about. He said, Tim, she is African. Okay, so it's spelled a different way. So, yeah, possibly a man then. You know, we going to give that much respect that we pretend it's a man, at least till we know better. But shout out to you, Tim. Maybe if you stick around long, you'll feel a little bit better. And it's okay, man. Sometimes people just be upset. And you know, they got to get something off their chest. So, you know, it's cool. Don't even worry about it. We ain't even here to mock you, Tims. I understand there are people who didn't get to grow up with a mother that loved them at all. You know, and I'm going to say shout out to the people who overcame the fact that your mother didn't love you at all. Okay? Shout out to those people. You know, shout out to the people who their mamas left them somewhere for someone else to adopt them. Shout out to y'all. You know, now you don't know that your mother left you because she thought you was trash or something like that. She may have thought she was trash, and I don't want my child to be the same trash I am. There are some mothers who do that. I can't give you a percentage. I can give my guesstimation, but there are some mothers who will allow their children, or they'll put their children up for adoption because they just don't expect to do anything right by their children. And I guess if you're a mother and you know you're going to do your kid dirty, it is better to give your child away, and at least it has a shot at getting a better life. All right? So, hey, Tims, I'm going to give you a proverbial hug, okay? I'm going to give you a proverbial hug. You know, I understand, you know, some people in life, they just be mad. You know, no real reason. They just be mad, okay? At least no real reason that they can think of. But if you had a mother's love, you probably feel a little bit better, okay? And even thinking about what I'm presenting here with a simple picture of a family celebrating the mother, okay? Now, you don't know what was going on in this particular clip, but it showed like they celebrate mama to me, okay? That's what it looked like. They celebrating mama to me, okay? And you know what? When mama got a husband, it just makes it so much better, all right? Shout out to all the mothers who love their children enough that when their child was born, she had a husband. You know, we got some amazing concepts out there in the world, y'all. I kid you not. I saw somebody had a post and said it was a woman who made a post. At least the avatar was a woman. I assume it was a woman based on the caption. It said, I wish mothers, I'm going to paraphrase because I ain't going to say I remember exactly right, but it said, I wish we got to pick our baby's fathers. I kid you not. It was like, I wish women got to pick their baby fathers. That's literally what it said, okay? I wish women got to pick their baby fathers. Lord have mercy. Now, that tickled me. I'm going to say that. That tickled me. Because sometimes you hear something that's just so stupid, I can't help but to laugh. I don't know how y'all do it. I see something or I hear something. It's so incredibly stupid that I just got to laugh at it. Okay, that's all I can do. Because I ain't got no complimentary thoughts behind it at all. So rather than go into how stupid this thing is, no, I just laugh sometimes. Okay, if only women got to pick their baby's father. Woo! Now, when you think like that, you may not get to celebrate Mother's Day with your children. That's a true thing. You may not get to celebrate Mother's Day. When you thinking like that, you know, it's a long shot that your children gonna honor you on Mother's Day. That's a heck of a long shot. That's real talk. It's just a heck of a long shot. All right. Now, that doesn't mean it's impossible, but it's a heck of a long shot. Shout out to Afro Merchant. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. He said, thought you were on vacation, Roger. You've earned it. Hottest working man in showbiz. 9 a.m. Chicago time, 365, 25-8. Great Black Reset and Bronx held it down Friday. Take a vacation. Hashtag Yo Mama Black. Hashtag long live habitual last episode. Hey, brother, I appreciate that big time. I truly do. Okay, I definitely appreciate that big time. But I'm gonna tell you straight up. Man. I wish I was on vacation. I wish. Nah, brother, I'm a long way from vacation. Friday wasn't no vacation either. Okay, I just had to take care of some stuff during showtime. So, it is what it is. So, but I'm gonna say shout out to Great Black Reset and Bronx for the great job they did. That's real talk. Okay, shout out to Great Black Reset and Bronx because they did an awesome job. Real talk, they did do an awesome job. So, but yeah, I'm scared to walk away for a vacation, bro. I'm scared. Okay. I'm scared. Plus, I wouldn't do y'all like that. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of me go a long way, if you ask me. Okay, a little bit of me go a long way. So, yeah, they might get an opportunity in the future, but I'm still scared, man. You know what I'm saying? I was sweating. I was sweating hard Friday. They did a good job, but I was sweating. Okay. No, real talk. Shout out to them brothers, y'all. Shout out to them brothers, okay? And shout out to Afro Merchant. He say, take a vacation because your mama said so, and she black, okay? Well, my mama don't know how this thing works, okay? She don't know how this thing works. You got to be out here on a regular basis, man. And y'all, real talk, this is fun for me, okay? This is fun for me. I'm going to say that. This is fun. This is the fun part of life, okay? When I go off air, I deal with the other part of life, but this is the fun part, okay? This is the fun part. But shout out to my mama who would encourage me to take a vacation if it felt like it was too much on me, if it was getting too hard for me, if it was making me sad. It was, pulling at my heartstrings too much. If it was bringing me down, my mama would say, take a vacation, or she would say, quit. She gonna look out for my health before anything else. And that is a mark of a good mother. Your mother wants you to be healthy, y'all. Okay? Not just physically healthy. She wants you to be, quote unquote, emotionally healthy too. Okay? She wants you to be spiritually healthy. She wants you to be healthy in any kind of way that you can think of. And that's how you know you got a great mama. Okay? That's how you know you got a great mama. And you know what? To me, it'll be good to hear a few things that your mama did right. Now I'm going to say this, y'all. If you're going to come to talk about what your mama did wrong, say that for another show. Today, we're just going to talk about the good things that mamas did. Because everybody didn't have a good mama. And they need to hear what we got to say. And some people really need to hear some of the things we share, so they can see if their mama was good or not. So look, if your mama did something bogus or bad, and everybody do something wrong somewhere, but that ain't what today's show is for. Today is for celebrating the good things your mama did. So only the good things, y'all. That's all we dealing with today. All right, don't make me throw you off the show because you're trying to talk about something negative. We're going to talk about the good things your mama did. All right, so I'm starting off with the fact that my mama prayed for me, and she drug other mothers into praying for me when I was in a coma, which is the weakest state I've ever been in. Because, when you're in a coma, you can't do nothing for yourself. So shout out to my mama for that. Now, I'm going to give a flow to some guests. I got a guest backstage. I'm about to bring them up. All right. And I'm going to see what they got to add into this particular thing, okay? Shout out to Trev Billy. He say, no trifling mammies. Yeah, we ain't gonna talk about them today. They'll get their shine later. On a different day. We got plenty of time to get on to them, but this is the day after Mother's Day, so we gonna give the good things some shine today about the mothers. All right. So Tunnel Runner is the first one up. So Tunnel Runner, you got the mic. Let's hear it, my brother. What you got for us?
Oh, brothers, I'm doing well. And I would like to say, my mother in law, the wife of my mother, shows me love, prays for me, and produced a daughter that has a lot of love for me. And she cooks my meals, everything that I want. And her mother shows me all kind of love. And I appreciate her so much. My mother, I lost her when I was very young. But to have a mother-in-law that shows you love is a great thing.
I'm gonna second that. I'm gonna definitely second that. That's awesome. Of course, sorry you lost your mom when you were young, but it's a beautiful thing to hear that you got a wonderful mother-in-law now. That should touch somebody's heart out here, y'all. That should touch your heart. That's real talk. So appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that. And I'm dead serious. Appreciate that. All right. Well, we got another guest. We got dear mama. Oh, I'm gonna just say use a B, okay? Use a B. But I'm gonna say, hey, we gonna take that as a joke because we not gonna slander no mamas today, man. It's got to be positive. If you ain't got nothing positive, I'm gonna say come back on all the other days because there's gonna be plenty of time to say other stuff. But today we gonna only celebrate the good things about mamas. But you got the flow. Go ahead.
Hey, Monday, Roger.
Good morning. Good morning.
Mine is going to be very short. The only good thing that my mother did for me was giving birth to me. That's about it.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna say you got to take a win where you can get a win. You got to go. A W is a W at the end of the day. So shout out to her for that. Okay, because if she didn't do that, we don't get you. So shout out to you for that, then. Okay. Also, now, shout out to Chef Mike. He said there is an echo. Roger for live. All right, y'all. One of us is creating an echo. I don't know if it's me. What
That's
I'm
right.
going to do, even though I'm gonna be scared, y'all, I'm gonna reset my phone. Hopefully, that's gonna clear it up, and it's me. All right, I'm gonna cross my fingers. Now, the scary part is, Gold P just came in the building, right? And I'm gonna believe that Gold P gonna get an opening statement, and he gonna say something worthy of hearing for a couple moments until I get back. So, Gold P, don't disappoint me, brother. Don't disappoint me. And I'm gonna see if I can clear this echo up, okay? But shout out to you, my brother. Real talk. And go ahead and get your opening statement in. Appreciate you.
Why you starting stuff, Roger?
Bro, I'm saying I'm trusting you to be able to keep it cool until I get back. I'm not trying to
Hey,
start that. I'm trying to
what?
talk about how you so great that I can walk away because it's gonna be in your hands. Okay, that's what I'm saying. And you talking about I'm starting stuff. And I'm trying to give
I
you the highest compliment.
I appreciate you starting out with my your confidence in me, brother.
Yes, sir. So we gonna see what it do because I'm gonna dip out, reset my phone, and
Yeah,
if you finish, Creator is joining us. So Creator, you can jump in right after him if I'm not back in time. So do your thing, my brother. Do your
yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah. I just came up here to. Okay, I'm gonna be, I'm gonna be cool, Roger. I ain't coming in hot, Roger. Okay. Shout out to the Roger Report. Shout out to everybody who hit that like button. You guys know how I start out. Shout out to everybody who uh, is supporting the channel. Now, the second part is I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna dip out. Hey, look, man. My mama took care of my daddy, and that was a wonderful thing because my daddy took care of my mama. So shout out to my mama for being there until death did them part. Till death did them part. So shout out to my mama for taking care of my father. That's it.
So short and sweet.
Excellent, excellent.
You like to keep it short and sweet, concise. Um, First off, how y'all doing on this beautiful Monday? It is in the middle of the spring. It's finally getting warm, and it do put you in a mind of Mother's Day, a mother's warmth, a mother's love, and yeah, I got a lot to say about my mama because you know, what I mean, without her, obviously, I wouldn't be here. So good, bad, or indifferent, you gotta love your mama. Because without that, I think my man said it best. The best thing that she did was get me here, and I could say that I'm a preface that by saying I think that's probably one of the best things that our moms did for all of us is they got us here. Considering black moms are higher mortality rates for even having kids in the first place, so knowing that she got you here and she survived after getting you here is a plus. I lost my mom last year in February. That was like like my rock in my life. And then after that, in June, I lost my daughter. So last year was a heavy toll as far as the important women. You know, it's a few important women in my life. So again, good, bad, or indifferent, I'm just gonna cherish the positive and the positive memories of what they meant to me in my life. So I'll keep it for there for now.
Man, shout out to you, Tunnel Runner, man. Yeah, Tunnel Runner too, but you creator, man. Shout out to your family, brother. May the Lord continue to bless your family, man.
Yeah, brother. I'm gonna say sorry for your losses, man. Sorry for your losses, because I know that had to be tough. And my most sincere condolences to you and the family. I know that can be rough. Um, all right, and we have Shark Sims who's also coming up. Okay, so Shark, you got the flow, my brother. You got the flow.
Peace, fellas. Peace, fellas.
What's happening,
Um,
Shark?
Thanks for having me up, Roger. Peace to the panel. Peace to the chat. First and foremost, I want to give my condolences to Creator. You know what I mean? Definitely for the brother, give him some love and all that. And to the topic of the show, y'all niggas sound pretty sad about what the good things your mamas did for y'all. I'm gonna let y'all know that right now. I'm gonna let y'all know that right now. Y'all got to get some life in your voices. Oh yeah, shout out Gold P too. I ain't seen you in a good minute, man. Shout out to the God. But I definitely gotta thank my moms, besides for making me, for getting me out the hood and putting me around some good old white people. And allowing me to see what life is like on the other side of the fence. Because if it wasn't for that decision, I think that might have been the most important decision she made, besides even more than saying I'm not going to get an abortion, was that decision right there. Because if it wasn't for that, Lord knows where I'll be. I don't even think the Lord knows where I'll be ending up at right now. So I definitely got to give my mom big props. I bust her chops a lot, but I definitely got to give her big props for making that decision and that sacrifice to go hard enough to be able to do that. And I
Okay,
pass it to Dark Vader.
okay. Shout out to your moms for that. Shout out to your mom for that. Because that do make a big difference in life. You know what a small child sees makes a difference. You never know what's going to impact them hugely. And I'm gonna agree with Shark, y'all. We ain't got to be so sad about our moms. They did something right. Everybody, even bad mothers, did something right. But we gonna move on to the Great Black Reset. The sponsor of today's stream is in the building. Great Black
What's
Reset.
happening?
You got it, brother. You got it.
Man,
What's
what's
happening?
happening?
What's happening?
What's happening? What's
first,
happening?
first, I want to say,
Can't hear him.
shout out to all the. Oh, you can definitely hear me. You can definitely hear me. shout out to,
he
shout out to
almost got
all
it.
the. Shout out to all the mothers out there on the happy belated Mother's Day. Shout out to Gold P for throwing chairs at me this weekend for no reason. No reason. None
Hey
whatsoever. Just throwing
man,
chairs at a
hey,
brother.
I sat down and shut the F up, man. All right. I said it.
Um, uh, I want to say, man, my mom was in some unfortunate circumstances. My mother and father were never married, and they were at odds. But the great things my mom did for me, she did get me out the hood. She went to college, and I ended up spending part of that time on the campus of the University of Florida while she was going to school, which put me in a multicultural background. It opened my eyes. It was a culture shock at first because I grew up in a predominantly black environment, and it was a culture shock, but it made me better and it made me want more out of life. It made me understand that there was more than what the government was giving us, and that I could get more. I just had to work hard to get it. So I really appreciate that about my mom. She did instill discipline in me as best she could, and our life progressively got better after she went to college. So shout out to my moms for that, man. I really appreciate her for that. We might not always get along, but I'm always gonna love her. She's the only mom I got. I can't trade her in for another one. So I love her. So shout out to moms.
Hey, that's real talk. You can't trade him in for another one. That's as real as it gets right there. And y'all, again, maybe you know something that happened with a mama that ain't necessarily your mama. And maybe it's not just me. I got other women out there. It's like, I'm gonna say they second moms. Now I can say I got second, third, fourth moms and all that, but I ain't gonna put nobody to the back like that. So I'm gonna say I got a bunch of, a decent amount of women that would be like second moms to me. Okay, because I got friends and I've been had friends for years and years. So as you get around a friend long enough, you become part of the family. And now they got a mama. Boom. Now you got a second mama, or even a third mama, or even a fourth mama. But I'm gonna say you never call them a third or fourth mom. You always say you like a second mom. I don't care when you met them, how long they been involved. If you gonna say that, just leave it at second mama, okay? I don't care if they in the same room together. If I say you like a second mama to me and the other one look a little funny, I thought I was your second mother. I'm gonna be like, you is. Well, we can't both be your second mama. Yes, yeah, yes, you both is. Y'all got to figure that out. That's y'all fight, not mine. Okay. But shout out to our other co-host that did also a fantastic job on Friday. We got Bronk in the building, so we're gonna let Bronk get an opening statement in. You got the flow, my brother. You got the flow.
All right. What up, Roger? What up, chat? What up, panel? Shout out to everybody's mom out there. First and
Is,
foremost,
is Bronx talking? I can't hear him. What is he talking?
here you go. Here you go already, man. See, we just hosted a show together, man.
It was
Now we
all
back to
good just
stage
a week
one.
ago.
Now we back to stage one. Y'all want to host another show with this man? I'm done, man. I tried. See, I tried to squash the beef like Kevin Hart and Cat Williams, man.
No. You did your
Tried
part.
to squash it, man.
All you can do is your part.
Man,
Oh man.
all I can do is my part, man. But anyways, man, shout out to all the mothers out there. Shout out to my mom. Um, our ideologies are completely opposite, but my mom carried me to term. She did a lot of great things for me as a kid. The PlayStations, the Xboxes, coming to my baseball games. It's a lot of great things my mom did. She took me to church, didn't teach me about God the way that I, know about it today, but she did a part in that. Um, Stayed with my dad my entire life. Um, had me in wedlock. So shout out to her for all the great things she did. Shout out to my grandmother as well. My grandmother stayed married to my grandfather for over 60 years before he passed away. Um, and she's still going strong. Born in the 1930s. Great woman. Matriarch of the family. Um, She told me something yesterday when I called her to wish her a happy Mother's Day along with my mom. I spoke with my grandmother for a bit, and she told me something that was very interesting, man. She always catches up with me, how you doing, grandson, or whatnot. She's about 86, 87 now. And as part of that conversation, she made a statement that was, I mean, just mind blowing to me. I was telling her about, a little bit of things in my life. And she said, son, black women and white men are the only ones in America with real rights. That was profound to me, man. And I'm gonna land my plane there. But shout out to all the moms. Shout out to all the grandmothers. Shout out to all the aunties. Shout out to everyone out there. So
All right. And what was that last thing you said? Your mama told you what?
my grandmother, she told me, and she was born in 1930. She said black women and white men have more rights than anyone in America.
Oh, okay. Sound like she was a smart lady. Okay. Shout out to her. Shout out to her. Okay.
Hey, Roger, can I ask the panel a question?
Sure. Go ahead.
Because I'm more like, because I always be going, like me and my mother always have this conversation. And like, about like the kids of today and all that. Do y'all think it was easier to be a mother when we were children? Or is it easy to be a mother now? And I say that to say, like, when we were children, even if your mother wasn't a mother, you still had like a society that could help raise you up. You still had rap music. You still had TV. You know what I mean? And you still had a village. But now I think it's harder to be a mother now because there's no TV. There's no village. The music is steering you. It's like everything is going against whatever you might instill in your children.
Shark up here simping today. Back to center.
We trying to be on the positive vibe. Shark trying to take us away.
No, because I think the ones that are parents now, they definitely got it. Have it more. It's more obstacles in their way.
Okay. I would disagree. I would think that today. Go ahead, Black. I go in after you.
Oh,
I'm roll out the carpet, man.
Thank you, brother.
You did such a great job, man. I got to roll out the carpet for you, man.
Thank you, brother. I think it's the same. I think they're just moving different. I think we did have more community back when we was growing up, but that was because we had more married people and more marriage minded people in the community. It's just now the less of them are getting married, the worse it seems. But I don't think it's different. If they stay married, it's gonna be as easy as it was back then.
I think it's more challenge. I think it's more challenging then. Even though, just in the past when we was coming up, I think it was more challenging, more fun for us as kids. But I think it was more challenging as a mom for a mom to raise kids, especially with the lack of technology. Even though technology, like we were coming up in a world where technology was literally evolving before our eyes. Now, I think parenting is really simple. Why? Because we've already laid out a blueprint of how to do it. Now, it to me today would be a lot more easier to be a mom. Now, whether you want to adhere to that or surrender to the fact of just being a mom is a whole nother different story. But I think it is way more easier.
Copy.
All right. I'm gonna go with it should be easier now. It's not easier now because they made it difficult themselves. It should be easier now. Now, what do I mean by that? Back in yesteryear, people had a certain expectation. Women depended more on each other. Women had each other's back more. You don't have the same type of deal going on because now it's more rampant that a woman wants to sleep with your husband and she's going to take advantage of it. Boom. Now it's more rampant that some women going to sleep with your boyfriend so you never even get married in the first place. Boom. A woman wants to have a baby by a man simply because he's already in a relationship with another woman. So she want to have his baby so she can have a one-up on the other guy. Well, excuse me, on the other female. Okay. She sees a man, he got a baby with somebody. She wants to have a one-up. She gonna have a baby too. Or if she don't have a baby, she want to get pregnant by the dude so she get the first baby from that guy. Because, so because of women's treachery toward each other, I think it's far more difficult than it is now because they have like basically no trust with each other at this particular point. Back in the day, I think other mothers would just look out for each other far more than they do right now. So it could be easy because of the technological advancement that's going on. But I believe it's more difficult because now you have more women trying to do motherhood from a loner standpoint. Plus, they are not even, a lot of them are not even having relationships with the man that got them pregnant. So, they having one night stands, and then they just have a baby because they just want to have a baby. So now you got no father in the picture. Then you got it where a lot of women who are hiding the fact that they had a baby from a particular man. Just heard this over the weekend. One of my friends just found out that, he had a son with a chick from years ago. You know what I'm saying? They're hiding the fact that they get pregnant and things like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's a more rampant thing. I'm not saying my friend, it was hid from him. I just got the, new details on that situation. So I ain't gonna say nothing about his situation, but I'm saying there are women who get pregnant and they're hiding the fact that they got pregnant from a guy, and they'll do it for more than a decade sometime.
Well, Kurt Franklin just found out who his daddy was, and he older than all of us. So, what I mean? I think that I'm coming from it from, I guess what y'all saying is, so I think it was, so when I'm listening to what y'all saying, because all y'all are right, I think it just might have been easier for us to be kids back then than it is for a kid to be a kid now.
Man.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, I think the bad stuff that happened back in the day still happens today. I just think it's more rampant.
I could agree, definitely.
Or quote unquote more socially acceptable. So therefore the problems are more rampant than they used to be.
I would say financially speaking, just systemically, it's easier to be a mom today from that regard because I mean you can just have babies out of wedlock. You can get Medicaid, WIC, food stamps.
Wow.
You can get housing assistance. You can get child support. So financially, it's definitely easier to be a mom today because you really don't have to work to be a mom or to support your kids financially. You can just get that from everybody else. You can get it from charity at the church. You can get all the money you need to raise a child from everybody without you even working.
Yeah.
Not
So
like how
definitely
we did
financially
back in the
speaking.
day. We were talking about now my mom. Let's speak from that standpoint. Our moms, it was a lot more challenging back in the day to be a mom, where the food lines weren't like they are now. The pantries are like grocery stores today, not like back in the day. So I think it's just, again, I think we all right is that the the delivery of being a parent is just not there. So you have all the weapons, you have all the resources, everything is there for moms to be great moms, even the men. But it seems
Yep.
like it's moving, it's regressing. So it's like the more opportunity that's there, the less that they use it.
Aren't we supposed to be talking positively about mothers?
You know what? I was just gonna say the exact same thing. I'm surprised you beat me to it, but hey, we'll take it. Yeah, okay. Because we want to do some shows. Something about the good, positive things. Because there are positive things that mothers do. Okay. Now I'm gonna say shout out to my mama for teaching my sisters how to dress appropriately. You know,
Mm-hmm.
That's
I've
huge.
never had to worry about my sisters being in some type of outfit that's intentionally trying to seek the attention of men that want to have sex with them. And that's how I'm gonna see it, because the outfits a lot of girls wear now, the intent is to get men to want to have sex with you.
Yeah, it's crazy
Then let me
nowadays.
give a shout out to my wife, of many years, who really stuck it in with me and having my kids, knowing how wild her husband is and knowing how wild her kids are gonna be. And she put 150% into all of us and making sure that this thing, and I'm
Man,
a definitely send a shout out to her for real, for real.
that's
But
beautiful.
she, to
That's
me,
beautiful.
is the example of what a mom now ain't perfect by no means, but example of what a mom is. When she dropped them off, she's calling, she making sure everything is good. She's not abandoned, never in no way, shape, or form abandon the kids. Always seek to have them a higher understanding about life, higher understanding about them and their hygiene, keeping their hair did all the time. making sure that she at least made it to the functions, that they never, were felt abandoned, even if I couldn't make it. So yeah, I give a shout out to my beautiful and hardworking, you understand, wife, and to my mom, who, like I said, made a way out of no way, which a lot of moms did. They made a way out of no way. I just had to go back, Roger, to say we kind of that question where is we can say these great things about the moms in the past. I certainly would love to want to say great things about the moms of now, and so that they sons and husbands can say great things about them in the future. Is that the trajectory though?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we gonna do our piece to do a little help. So, any mother that come across this show, if she hear, what we're saying, why this person was a great mom. Because again, y'all, it doesn't have to be related to your particular mother. You got friends with moms too. If y'all with any type of cool person, you've made some friends where you got a second mother out there somewhere. You know what I'm saying? You might have a few of them because maybe it's 2-3 guys that you roll with real tight. Maybe y'all done been in each other's weddings, y'all done been each other's best men and all that. Y'all got some second mamas out there too, so y'all can share with that. Or if it's just a story that you know of any particular mother. But the whole point is any woman should be able to hear this and have an idea of what makes a mother great. Okay, that's what the goal is. That's what the goal is,
Yeah.
and to celebrate all the mothers who've done certain things right. Because again, nobody's gonna be perfect, but even an imperfect mama has to do something right. Everybody, even the clock right twice a day. That's all I'm saying. Okay, even the clock right twice a day. So there are great things that people have done, and I want to make sure we show some love for the great moms. Because if you want more great moms, you got to show love to the moms who are great. Because people want to be what's considered great, and that's real talk.
Yeah.
So
So you,
I
so you can
appreciate
be
you shouting out
a
your wife
sucky
the way you
woman.
just did. Real talk.
Yeah, I'm gonna come behind that because shout out to my woman as well, man. She exemplifies really, all that a woman should be in this modern society. I mean,
Come
somebody
on.
mentioned earlier about um just the way you dress, and shout out to their mom for being on the system for the way they dress. That's something she's heavy on. How you present yourself when you go out of the house. Something that she preaches often to the girls is when you're going out into the world, you're essentially advertising yourself, and your branding is everything. So, what do you want a man to see when he first looks at you? And she addresses that, man. Um, she's held it down on her end. We both experienced the divorce. She held it down by herself for her children for a long time, and did it in such a way where she didn't bring out or bring around any foolishness around her sons, and allowed them to see her as a hoe. She showed them what a woman should be and exemplified it. They're not the boys who saw their mom go through a divorce and then hit the streets. They saw her mom hold it down, you know. Um, so shout out to the mothers out there who might have not got it right the first time, with their first husband, or whatever the situation may have been, but bounce back in a mighty way and exemplify what it means to truly be a woman and a mom. So shout out to all y'all.
Hey, that's real talk. That's real talk, y'all. And again, y'all, if you don't celebrate the good mothers, you're not encouraging other people to become the good mothers. Because every woman gonna have to make their choice once they get pregnant and decide to keep that baby. You got a choice at that point. Either I'm gonna be a good mom or I'm gonna be a trash mom. But they gotta make a choice, you know. And it's better that they get the idea of what a good mama is from us. And that's real talk. That's not a joke at all. You
Yeah.
know.
Thanks to the mothers who even made the choice to have their kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Consider that
Especially in
50
today's
million,
world,
50
man.
million of them did not.
Yeah.
Yeah, millions.
Yeah.
When I see people standing outside, like doing with the Black Lives Matter protests, usually it's a lot of white liberals. I get tempted to just stop and be like, you know what, man? Take those signs over to the hood in front of the abortion clinics.
Well,
They are.
well. Hold on now. Hold on now. See, I'm gonna say before y'all spin too much in the wrong direction. Y'all know there's a Black Lives Matter movement that people around the country don't really support. There was a Black Lives Matter organization that a lot of white people were supporting. But I'm gonna say this: people make a lot of jokes about black people not reading, but why do you make that joke? Because comparatively, white people supposedly read. That Black Lives Matter organization said that they were only trying to help black women, minor children, minors, children that are minors, people that are LGBT. Okay, so
And
the only
dismantle the
adults,
family.
Yeah, I read it.
the
I read it
only
before they took it down.
so the only adult, if you were black, you had to be a black woman. If you were a
Or a
male
child.
adult, you had to be a member of the LGBT community. That's it.
Or a
And
child.
so now that got a whole lot of white support. I don't believe white people didn't know what they was doing. Okay. I think when I read what they was promoting about that, and I'm pretty sure the white people read it too. So the white people knew what they were doing 9 times out of 10. I ain't saying every single individual knew, but how come they supported that organization that was about only black mothers, minors, and LGBT people? And there's a Black Lives Matter movement that was started before that organization existed and has continued on after that organization fell off. I don't see the white people supporting that movement. So I'm just saying, sometimes we got to think about why people show up for what they show up for.
Mm.
You know, I'm just gonna leave it at that. All right. Now,
I tell you what, marketing, and I think for those of us in the industry, marketing is expensive. To get your campaign across the world, or across the world, to get everybody on board is expensive. So that has to be
Yeah, I was
deliberate.
just talking about that the other
no,
day.
no.
The cost.
What I'm implying is the white people saw what the organization was really down for, and they just agreed with it.
I agree,
That
but you
that's
still
what
got to
I'm
put it
Yeah,
in
implying.
their face.
and then there
Still
was
got to put it in their
a
face.
political. There was actually a political campaign called Project Blue that all that money was going to, and it was supporting, of course, liberal politicians.
Yeah,
And that was on the site too, but they uncovered all that.
because that Black Lives Matter movement that's ran by black men for the betterment of black people as a whole, they ain't choosing to support that.
Mm-mm.
So I'm to me, it ain't no, like I said, to me, I don't really believe in coincidence like that. So I saw the one they wanted to support, but the other movement, the actual movement, is still going on, and they not really going over there to do anything. So hey,
Yeah, I
it
bet.
is what it
I
is.
bet.
Oh
I
no.
bet. And Black life itself, we need the mothers to carry the babies to term. So if Black Lives Matter so much, we should be anti-abortion.
But then we need black mothers to want to be black mother. We need black women to want to be black mothers. We need black men to want to father black women, or
Well,
black
well,
kids from black women. Right? We
well,
gotta want. They
well,
got to want to do this. Back in
well,
our day, again, even though the man might not have been everything, like James Evans wasn't everything. You understand? He was the epitome of, man, shit just keep happening. However, that woman right there stuck my hand, and look at the smiles on the kids' faces. They were met with every challenge that you could be met with. But now in today's society, even in that system, financially speaking, you have resources that don't allow you you're not going to go hungry in America. I don't care what we talking about. You'll never go hungry in America. I don't care what they make it look like. So now the challenges of today, or the resources of today, have made it to where it's easy. We black folk don't have no kids. Certainly you want your own apartment. I
well,
know you want this new car. Man,
well,
you can't get them J's if you
hold
raising
on
babies.
now. Hold on now, because my thing is, I don't want a false narrative. We've never had an issue with black fathers in this country. It's never existed.
Oh no, not a problem with the black father. I'm saying the promotion is not for. So it ain't. We are the most valuable thing on this earth, for real. As human beings, we are the most valuable human being, period, on earth. Now, but they're not promoting, and this is a
Well,
visual
I'm
world.
saying we don't really need it promoted because we've always had it. It's just we're at a particular point that women don't want to be involved with it, and that's just what it is. But see, my thing is, I'm trying to steer clear from that stuff because we got every other day to talk about that stuff. We trying to celebrate the mothers, what they did right.
Boy,
Okay.
I keep drifting in them waters, man. I keep drifting in them waters.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
again,
yeah.
if you want
This
people
going
to do right, you got to celebrate the people that do right.
Roger. With all due respect, it's just going to be an easier Father's Day show. That's all. This is hard.
It
As
should
I
be.
said earlier, it ain't about what the men did today. It ain't about what the
And you know
men
what,
did
Roger?
today.
That would be interesting to have on Father's Day, to have women up to explain the goodness that the men then brought into their life. Ooh-wee.
Hey man, we'll talk certain ideas after the show.
Right.
Well,
We ain't gonna talk about that one though.
yeah,
We ain't gonna talk about that one.
no, we gonna celebrate these mamas right now, y'all. Mother's Day was
Ah,
yesterday. I ain't do no show on Sunday. We gonna talk about these good mothers right about now. Well, that's what we gonna do, y'all.
Hey, we trying,
Cause
bro.
there
We
were
trying,
plenty of
Roger.
there was some. No, I mean, bro, I was exposed to good mothers. Okay, so
I'm,
I can tell many a
let me,
story
let,
about something my mama did, my aunties did, my grandmothers done did. And then I got all my friends' mamas.
let,
You know what I'm saying? So I got
boy,
some
you a
stuff that I
lucky
can say
struck.
about mamas out here.
You's a lucky
let,
struck.
let, let me let me let me help create out. Right. I just follow just follow this program I'm finna
Yeah.
set up for you. And if you do this, you'll be all right, creative.
All right, cool.
I grew up I grew up in a family of marriage minded people, kind of like Roger did, except my parents were not married. But all my aunts were married. My uncles were married. My grandmother was married. Both of my grandmothers were married. And these were successful people. They also were very educated. Most of the women were teachers and things like that. So I was always with when I was always with my aunts when they were married, and I was surrounded by my uncles who were teaching me how to be a man and showing me what men are supposed to do and things like that. So it was easier back then, like you were saying, because you were surrounded by all this love that's appropriate. All my cousins are coming from these family households and stuff, so I got some of that by proxy. I got some of that by proxy. So, and I lived with my aunt for a period of time, and I lived with one of my grandmothers for a period of time. So I did grow up in households where marriage was there, and it gave me a hunger for marriage as a child. So, there are a lot of women of yesteryear that were doing this thing the right way, and have been great effect for those of us who did not grow up in married households. So there you go, creative. You follow that right there, you be all right.
I feel you. I feel you. I think I put that in my satchel.
Well, my thing is we've had great mothers. I'm not saying ain't no great mothers now, but again, if we never celebrate what people do right, there's be no reason for people to copy it. Why
That's
why do
right.
we
That's
like the
good
person who
leadership too.
won the race? Because we want to end up becoming the person who won the race. You know what I'm saying? So if we don't celebrate the mothers who did it the right way, now, I mean, even in this picture, why do this? Because Esther Roll, even as a black woman, knew, hey, this is a television show. It's going to have influence on an untold amount of people. I got to have a husband because that's important. If black folks going to watch this, they need to watch a woman with a husband. And I'm saying shout out to her for even taking a stance like that.
She
Especially
showed.
back in the day, y'all. This, it wasn't like she was this super famous woman with all this money going on. She was a character on Mod, and she got a spinoff, and the spinoff was Good Times. She wasn't balling out of control like that to
Uh-uh.
be making demands. So she took a real chance to not have a job anymore at all, to just so she can put the image out there of black couples. Okay. And we done had some pretty decent black couple images, Shout out to the Cosby Show, gave us another great black couple image. But, these characters wasn't perfect either. Neither were the people who played these characters. But at least we saw it. At least we saw it. And they wasn't all the way wrong. And they all got they got good points that should be celebrated. And young women should be encouraged to take these good points on. Because at the end of the day, you know, uh, I like a woman who ain't just about excuses. You know, I like seeing a young lady say, you know what, let me stop making excuses and just start doing what's right. And that's real talk. Okay. You know, as I've seen young ladies mature over time, a lot of them never get to the point of saying, you know what, I'm just going to do better and I'm going to stop making excuses. But when the
So
one do, it's great.
in modern day, Roger, what is doing right? What is the right thing for a young lady today? In modern
Lord have
day,
mercy.
in modern, I'm just not in your positive light, right? In modern day, what would be right for a young lady doing right?
Okay.
What's
So,
No,
considered doing right?
I'm gonna address the super chat, then we're gonna come back to that. We're gonna come back to that. Shout out to Mr. Bent. He dropped the 557. Thank you for the Trailbilly tax, my brother. He said, shout out to the single mother. Let's see who. I don't know where this is going because I saw the $40 that's in it. So let's see where this goes. He said, shout out to the single mother who used that $40 I give for kids for the kids and not her hair and nails. Hey, shout out to
you sure? You sure that's what them $40 is for, sir? You sure? I,
Well, he didn't
I
say what
said,
he gave it to her for. He didn't say why he gave it to her. He just say, shout out to for the ones that use it for the kids. Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
$40 go a long way. $40 go a long way, man. Real talk.
that's a that's an interesting way of saying services rendered. Services
Man,
rendered.
that's
Oh, hey, I know he know what he talking about though. Everybody know exactly what he talking about. This is crazy. We ain't even got
Hey,
sayings.
man.
baby, make sure you get some juice box for the kids right there,
You
right
hear
there.
me?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
hey man. Sometimes it's the mamas out there that didn't have a lot of money for no toys or whatnot. So, she had to take her kids to McDonald's, get that Happy Meal, because that Happy Meal included a toy. Now they got something,
Shout
okay?
out to them, man.
You know? Okay. Mama trying. Mama trying.
Took the
But
40 and made it 80. You know what I'm saying? And then came back and asked you for more. See, you got one that'll take your 40, make it 80. Then you got one that'll take your 40 and then call back, I need 40 more.
hey,
That was for
that's
my
real
hair
talk.
and nails. What you talking about?
That's
Hey,
real talk.
mom's
What
out there
happened to
making
the juice
sacrifices
box
for the kids,
conversation?
man.
You don't remember the juice box
Sacrifices for the kids.
conversation, man?
Now I'm gonna say, because I wasn't scared of the question. Creators say, what's some of the things that mama's gonna do right?
Just so
Okay,
that they
dig
can
this here.
hear, so that they would know, right?
Yeah, dig this here. Dig this here. One of the first things a woman can do right, and I know this is gonna be controversial for people, but that don't make it any less real. Once you find out you're pregnant, marry the guy you got pregnant by. Real talk. You know. Now I know, again, that's gonna be controversial. But if he good enough to have your baby, you know, that's a good husband for you at the end of the day. And I understand it's gonna be a lot of women that's gonna think, I'm not gonna do that because he's not on my level. No, he is. You may not accept what your level is, but he definitely on your level if you allow him to get you pregnant. Okay. Now, a man can say you're not on his level, but as a woman, no, that ain't how society operates. You are on the man's level that you deal with. It is what it is. Okay. So might as well get married and call it a day. Throw it out there. I ain't saying propose, but throw it out there. Look, I'm pregnant. We might as well get married.
Now,
Because from this point, everything gonna be different.
here's some incentive. The incentive is the future of what this actual country that you live in look like. Some of us are going to get out of here. Some of us are already out of here and bouncing back and forth, right? Some of us are here and they're making their life the best of it. Those that are not preparing for the future, you're doomed to it because it's not going to get cheaper. I don't know what everybody thinking about. Once they get you used to paying $10
Man,
for gas, you think they're gonna want to drop it back down to 3? Never.
I'm telling you, when they getting them prices, and then we got all this cheap Venezuelan oil as well. Oh yeah.
Man, I still remember that 99 cent a gallon gas. I ain't seen it for decades.
Watch
Ain't
your
seen it since
mouth,
Obama.
Roger.
Ain't
You
seen it since
watch your
Obama.
mouth.
Hey,
What? You
hey,
say not? You say
when,
99 cents a gallon?
when we first
99
started rolling,
cent.
we
I
Oh,
started rolling.
remember prom night.
that
Yep,
that
99.
was no, that wasn't Obama. That was Bush. Was it Bush? The first one?
Hey, 99
All
cent
I
was
know
times
is
10.
Yeah.
I
See,
remember when
think
we
about
first
those
started
people.
driving. If you had $20, amongst
Yep.
the fellas, we could make something happen. We could make a lot happen with $20.
I used to
You give
fill
me
my tank up
five.
with $5.
That's what
Oh,
I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
those were the
Everybody,
days.
look,
Yeah.
look. I'm
Crazy.
not like some of y'all. I don't come from money like that. So we used to have to pool together. Okay. $5 here. Hey, you got five. I got five. We got five. Okay, boom. We got 20
We
bucks.
riding. We
We
on.
cruising. Okay.
We out here.
we coming up on something
Roger
now.
got the car. Like,
Yeah.
Roger, can you get the car? Like, bro, we got the gas. Just get the car.
Yeah, we was
The
making
car.
something happen. You know. Now I would say it wasn't me that got the car. Luckily, one of my friends' dad gave him his old thing. And we was whipping
It was
then. Yeah.
it
You know
wasn't
what I'm
his
saying?
mom. He didn't get it from his mom.
No, it was like his dad old car. He wasn't using it no more. Old piece of crap car. You know how that go. But for us, that's wheels, baby. That's
Well,
wheels.
we kept our father's car. We kept it fixed. We kept him with gas. We gave him what he wanted. Just so when I need this car, man,
Oh,
I
you
know
was
he gonna pull up.
responsible.
Hey, creator, we gotta save that one. We gotta save that one for Father's Day, man.
Man, let me chill. Yeah, let me chill, man. Let me
Yeah.
chill.
Hey,
Now, my
he keep
mom,
he
like I said,
he keep trying to get this extra credit in here. He keep.
look, so all right, we can go back to the moms, but the patience of a mom, bro, real talk. My mother, and I'm just thinking from I ain't even trying to be roses and lollipops. We was hell, and I'm just being for real. And it take a special type of woman, not the woman that's also hell. You understand? She trying to match your energy and this intense who you are with some more intense. It's more powerful than yours, which keeps you intense, but her power is I don't know, it's softer. She don't have to
Yeah,
say much or
you know
do
what?
much. I don't
Shout
know
out to
how to
all the moms
explain
who
it.
understand that. Shout out to all the moms who understand what he just put on the table, creator, about your influence. Your influence. And this is something that I applaud women who understand that about their influence. They understand that they can really motivate a man by their gentleness and softness. A lot more than
Right.
they can motivate their man by being aggressive and combative. Because you're very influential. You know, you can move mountains with your softness. But for a man, when you come at him aggressively and combatively, that incites in us our natural desire to suppress that. Because if a man step to us that way, it's like, all right, hold on, bro, what you want to do?
Hey, that's real talk.
so,
That's real
so
talk.
you really can influence that man with that softness and gentleness. So,
Yeah.
good point, brother.
Yeah. And I'm gonna say, okay. So I suggested that you get married if you get pregnant. That's what I'm gonna suggest. I don't care what society telling you. You might as well do it and get it out the way. Y'all will make it work. All you gotta do is make a decision to make it work. Other things moms can do well. Stop going around half naked where all the other kids can see what you got going on. Cause guess what? Your kid got to hear about it. Okay. I'm being realistic. I'm a little kid out here in these streets. But in today's world, not yesterday's world, but I'm a little kid out here in these streets. You think I ain't gonna tell your son about how I can see your mama's nipples? You think I'm not saying that? Of course
Oh
I'm
my
saying that.
God.
Your mama got
Man,
some big
Kids
nipples.
are cruel, bro.
man,
Kids are
man.
cruel.
It's funny you brought that up, man. I was just talking to my lady or yesterday actually, and along the course of that conversation, I was like, what if men just essentially start going up to women who had they ass and titties out, just like, dang, let me hit. What's good? What if we just start openly normalizing that, right?
Well, I mean,
What if we normalize that? Then we be called misogynistic. They look at it as catcalling. But really, it's like you
I just,
advertising it. You putting it out there. Why can't I respond to the advertisement?
man, just
well,
ask them how much they charging, bro.
Well, I mean, honestly, you can. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you what I know I've done. I done went to a woman straight up. You know what I'm saying? Let's say it was their cleavage. I done made a comment about her titties, and she looked at me shy. I was like, "Come on now, you showing them off? I seen them. It worked. You got me here, and I'll keep right on moving."
Come
You know what
on.
I'm saying? I don't even act like it's a funny thing. No, you did this to get my attention. You got it,
Yep.
so it worked.
Yeah.
Congratulations. So why don't you give me that number? Of course, I want to hit it, and we can
We
see
all
if
need
there's
to start
anything else
doing that.
beside that going on. But we not gonna pretend your advertisement didn't work.
And
Right.
Okay. So I'm gonna say shout out to the mamas who ain't out there who got to had a son talking about, you know what I'm saying, stop talking about my mama's nipples.
oh
Cause,
my
cause I'm being real. We talking about kids. Y'all know how y'all was when y'all was kids.
I know you talking about.
Yes,
You real
bro.
though.
Yes.
Somebody is saying this
Miss
into
Baker. I
kids at
still remember
school
Miss
right
Baker.
now.
Yes, sir. For
I
real.
still remember Miss Baker, my high school math teacher.
Yeah. So it's a kid out here right now walking around, and his mama got a fat pussy, and the
They
other
call
kids
her
know
Miss
it.
Baker. They call her
Yeah.
Miss Baker for a
Yeah. Hey,
Okay.
we all had 'em.
It's
We all had 'em. But and
most
it,
most kids mamas is walking around like that, man. They don't twerked on the internet. They don't showed off too much of themselves on the internet and all that there, man. It's
well, they
bad
bought
out
it.
there.
They
Yeah.
bought into the fame. See, they trying to
Yeah.
buy into the fame, and I already had kids, which is why a lot of times you see a lot of women want to keep their kids decked out because because I'm still young, I really want to be single, but I got kids, so I got to keep my kids. You know what I mean? On a certain, and I got to still look like I'm available, right? This ass still fat, these titties still popping. You understand? My face is on point, hair did. You know what I'm saying? So it's image, but again, whatever bring, I think sometimes too, we overlook the sanity of it all, and even just dealing with kids. I've been around all my kids and grandkids for all my life, right? As petty as it is, as I am, as they is, we around each other, right? So we learn. The only best way for them to learn how to be them is to be around somebody that made them. You get what I'm saying? So it is challenging for everyone. It ain't just challenging, you putting your law down ain't just challenging for them. It's also challenging for you as the man. And I think that's the disconnect of all relationships is the surrender part on both parties. The man is trying to teach, and it's a lot that he don't know, but even he's still trying to teach. So she's looking at him a certain type of way, like, okay, it started off sexy time. You know what I'm saying? When it ain't sexy time no more, it's more real time in life. That's what happened. It's for real, for real. It ain't just sexy time 24 hours a day.
What?
Most days it's real life. And
What?
you're not prepared to deal with that.
Well, I'm gonna say if you got wearing the same outfit to the grocery store that you're wearing on a date and you wearing to church, you probably doing something wrong. Okay.
Uh,
you
I,
you probably you probably doing something wrong. Now you could say the same thing and be doing it right, but more than likely you're doing it wrong. Okay. And you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking, man, if you 13 years old, how do you tell your oh man, I be jagging off to your mom?
oh my God.
man.
Dang,
Man.
He's not gonna tell
dang,
him.
that's
That's not
cold
gonna
blooded.
he'll hear it through the buddies. He gonna hear it through the grapevine.
Man.
Now you might want to tell yourself, your mama out there like that. Now I be jagging off to your mom. You know what I'm saying? Real talk.
Woo.
That's that's
Crazy.
cold
I
blooded,
remember
man.
she
But
That's
came
it
to
cold.
pick
hey,
you up the other
but that's
day.
real.
Yeah,
That's
she came to pick
real.
you up the other day. I seen the boy. Yeah, she bad, you know? So my thing is, shout out to the mamas who learn to dress appropriately so your kid ain't got to go through all
Behave
that.
appropriately.
And even outside of just bringing attention to your areas, shout out to all the women who don't go outside the house with bonnets on. Shout out to you women.
Real talk, real talk. And I'm going to say, shout out to the mothers who will actually teach their daughters that it's actually okay to wear your natural hair.
Oh
I agree. Can
man,
can I
that's
speak
big.
on the bonnet real quick? I don't want us to get it misconstrued. So even though it's a part of a culture that a lot of us probably don't want to accept, right? You just can't kick like just because your dog old, you can't kick her out. She's part of the family now.
What?
So
They
listen,
got They do have
Well, hold on, listen
decorative
to me.
hair
It's
wrap.
not the bonnet, it's the behavior. So we don't want the behavior. If women went out with the bonnet and every time they went out, somehow or another, $1 million stroked in they waist, right?
So
We'd be
so
promoting bonnets. We wouldn't
so
be we
so
wouldn't be blaming. So it's the
the bonnet
behavior.
the bonnet is where the behavior comes from.
No,
Well,
I
no,
think
no,
it's
oh,
the
no, hold fast. I think the bonnet is just part of the behavior. Women have hair wraps, decorative hair wraps that they can put on their head. So in case their hair ain't quote unquote all the way done or not finished, whatever the case is, they can still go out with a hair wrap that looks good. That's not a bonnet. A bonnet is
them
I'm too
women.
lazy to put a hair wrap on.
Well, that's that lazy woman. That's her culture. That's my point. That's that lazy woman. That's her culture. That's her right, to be quite frank. I wouldn't even worry about it because those ain't even the women. If that's not what you want, don't worry about it.
Well, no.
However,
I'm not
it's the
saying we worry
behavior.
about it, but we are trying to celebrate the people who doing it right. So my thing is, I don't want to give a message that the bonnet is right. No. Don't be lazy. Put a hair wrap on. Now,
I
if you're
agree.
gonna be just wear a bonnet and be lazy, hey, that's on you, and you get lazy people results.
We
You know
can
what I'm
go
saying?
down. It all comes down to the behavior. If you want to come out in a muumuu and your chest down to your ankles, hey, I just hope you don't come out wilding on people. You understand? And just being a whole total no
we hear
vibe.
you. We hear you one step at a time. We hear you one step at a
Yeah.
time.
You
Hey, I'm
understand?
just trying to get the positive stuff out, like you said, because you said who are the women doing it right? There's different things that I can say about the women who doing it right. And I think a large part of that is how you dress appropriately when you going out to places. Now, I understand if you go into the gym, I will give you a gym exception or some type of exercise thing exception. Or even like if you actually gonna go skiing. Now, if you gotta wear a cat suit, but you going skiing, I understand. I ain't gonna even fight you over you actually going skiing. But I'm gonna just say real talk. I don't know a lot of black people who go skiing. But okay, even if you go into the gym, I'm a be cool. You putting on gym attire because you're gonna go work out seriously. Okay, cool. But we shouldn't see you out and know what your body looks like on a regular basis. That's just not supposed to be done. Okay. And I'm gonna say as an older man, real talk, I should know what every 18, 19-year-old, 20-year-old girl body is like all the way. Like I practically seen you naked already. That shouldn't really
Man,
happen.
yeah, that's crazy.
Okay. Especially if women want to talk about you older men and shouldn't be looking at these younger women. You got them
Stop.
dressed like hoes before they even hit their 18th birthday, but you expect me not to see it?
All
Yeah,
y'all's marketing,
yeah.
all y'all's wardrobe or your uniform and marketing apparel seems to be more, I don't know, maybe y'all designers is prostitutes or trans women or something. I don't know, but shit, that's what's popping out the production line. So that's what they wearing. Now from that standpoint, but then I want to get back to what you were saying about the hair. I don't want us to forget that point about the women that promote their daughters and their natural hair, right? And being fully loving who you are through and through without having to add some type of synthetic anything with color as a means for you to consider yourself a baddie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If your hair ain't beautiful, you will never be beautiful. That's
You
why
hear
I
me?
put it.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
wild.
And,
For the
and,
people in the back.
and I'm gonna say shout out to the women who actually learn how to cook. I don't know if people have noticed it or not, but they're trying to get us to a society where you don't know how to cook so you can be dependent upon other people to feed you.
Man,
Shout out to the people, okay, who actually are smart enough to say, hey, I'm a woman. I actually want to feed myself at some particular point in time. I'm going to go ahead and learn to cook. I promise y'all, it's not as hard as you think it is. It's not as hard as you think it is.
it's not, man. I
Okay.
love to cook myself, man. It's fun.
I ain't going to say it's fun. I hate cooking, but I know how to do it.
Hey,
Okay.
I love it.
You know, not, but I mean, it's some folks who will really pick up a knack for cooking. Because I know some men that love to cook and they
Yeah,
throw
I can
down.
cook, bro. I
You know
can
what I'm
cook, bro.
saying? Yeah. You know,
I can cook.
shout out to Trust. She said cooking is therapeutic. Oh, see, that's what I'm talking about. So I know who to hang out with, y'all. My friends that love to cook, they ain't never got a problem getting me to come over. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, we ain't even got to be talking about the food. I know food gonna be part of it because they love to cook. So cool. Yeah, I'll be over there. Don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? You want me to bring something? So shout out to the women who do that, because you can't take care of a family and not know how to cook. And even if you're gonna be a part of a working couple, you're gonna have to cook sometime as a part of a even working couple. Because I know a lot of women, well, I'm gonna be independent. It ain't gonna be like that. I'm not gonna be at home cooking all the time. If you and your man got a job, and let's keep it real, a woman wants a man who got more than what she got. So guess what? If you got a job, he probably gonna have one too, which means y'all gonna have to know how to cook. It is what it is. What it is. Now I'm gonna say shout out to Chef Mike. Uh, he said they call me chef for a reason. Now I'm gonna say respectfully, I ain't even talking about you, Chef Mike, because I'm saying I know how to cook. You a chef, you do something else. Yeah, I'm not even saying my cooking or anybody else's cooking is only. We not even talking the same level. Okay, we not even talking the same level. When a chef start cooking, that's a whole different thing. So props to you, brother. Props to you. It ain't nothing near what a chef would be talking about. I just said people that like to cook. Now I wish I had a neighbor that was a chef. I ain't got none of them. I ain't got none of them.
Specialist noodles every day.
Oh, Joe, I would be their favorite neighbor. That's what I would do. I would become their favorite neighbor.
That's what we already have. We already have Section 8 women with chefs because they don't want to cook, and they babies gonna have gourmet noodles.
and the government gonna pay for it.
And the government gonna pay for it.
And people gonna wonder why they dying at 45 and 50 years old too. It's always a trade-off.
I'm mentally incapable of feeding my child. I can take care of him, but I'm mentally I just can't cook. It gives me anxiety.
And shout out to Black Uru Strikes. Appreciate you, my brother. Appreciate you. He says, if you're a man with a woman who cannot or won't cook, you are basically the bottom B in a gay relationship. I will say point taken. That sounds about right to me.
Yeah,
I mean, because if she can't or she want, I don't even know why you would be with a woman like that. That's real talk. Because I don't even get that. A woman who tell me she can't cook, she don't even compute to me no more. You know what I'm saying? Like bad data. This, you know what I'm saying? I cannot accept this data. Okay, I'm gonna have an issue with it. Okay. Y'all check this out. Chef Mike said, please read my last two comments. Okay, y'all check this out. So I scroll up, right, to see what the last two comments are. Okay. Chef Mike said, I give lessons. All right. And right under that, he said, episodes coming soon.
Let's go.
Okay.
They need to know, man.
Now, whether you can cook or not, we talking about a chef now. So that's a whole different level. I would advise you check him out. Okay, so I'm gonna definitely keep everyone informed with whatever chef keeps me informed with. I definitely pass the word along. That's 100% for sure right there. 100% for sure. Okay,
that's crazy. We don't have no cooking shows. Not a lot of great, good cooking shows, and just to show people how to practically cook a meal. I think every time we get the shows, there's people showing. I do want an upscale meal. I do. I would love to know how to cook a upscale meal for my fam. You understand? From players though. You know what I'm saying?
I feel
they cook all the time, but I'm saying just kind of making it fun. And we cook all the time with each other. They do the meals, man. These women, bro, it's like a competition type situation. Now I can show them, hey, this is the level that I want, right? But then they go, and then they take it from there. That's the great thing about being, as I was saying, man. Listen, being a man, being a parent, being a dad, being a husband, a provider, right? Being the man of your situation. When you get a pick, we always say your woman gonna be your biggest come up. Now we say it different, but I'm gonna keep it PG right now. She gonna be your biggest come up or your biggest downfall. Choose wisely. So a lot of my brothers, I see they got baby mamas, right? And they talk about Nick Cannon, and a lot of niggas got big, they have capacity to take care of more than one woman and ain't gotta be laid up with her every day, right? They talk about these men. It's crazy to me. But at any rate, choose wisely, because he know that these women gonna be great mothers of their children. I ain't gonna call them baby mamas. I don't even want to say that shit no more. They're gonna be great mothers of his children, right? These my kids. I know they're gonna be great moms. Meaning I don't have to hover over them and worry about everything. Is she gonna pay the mortgage? Are they gonna keep the grass cut? Dang, you didn't get the toilet fixed. I mean, Kylie, you see what I'm doing? Is that type of woman that you want, that ain't so caught up in they get it, you know what I'm saying? And every woman wants you to themselves. It just be like that. It is what it is. That's why they chose you. But some of them can understand that you have a job to do and you're not gonna be there. So shout out to the women that understand the plan, that know that they need their husband there, but understand that there's a bigger goal at hand, right? We trying to reach something higher, and now we need you here to maintain and make sure things are good and keep this man motivated, right? So that we can make as much money as we can, so we can prepare for our retirement, babe. I'm only doing this so that I can chill. So I'll keep in mind, that's what this is all about. Don't destroy your own legacy. So shout out to them women that understand the play.
Yeah. And I'm gonna say, what women can do right. That's what was asked. Hey, y'all, you can actually support your man in his idea. Every man gonna get an idea to do something. Okay. Now, you turn that into a business. Instead of being against the man trying to get y'all into your own business, how about you roll with him and see if the business works? Now,
Man.
I'm going to say I do understand most businesses fail. That is the absolute truth. Even successful people, most very successful people have failed at a few other businesses before they got the business that became successful to them. So I'm going to say one of the things that women can do right is just go for the ride.
Which is
And
right.
I'm saying go for the ride because you're probably going to fail the first couple of times.
First 5 years, the government said it's okay. Hey,
No.
first 5 years, we're going to see what you do.
Well,
You don't
I'm
do nothing
also
in 5
saying
years,
though,
it's your hobby.
but I'm also saying realistically, the first business you start was probably going to fail. The second business you start is probably going to fail.
Yep.
You probably going to fail
Yep.
at least 2 to 3 businesses before you get one that pop for you. Sometimes you don't
Exactly.
get it to pop to you at the 7th or 8th one, but you're going to have to fail
Yep.
first.
In
How
order
many
to learn.
how many channels? How many channels have you had banned, Roger?
We ain't got to do no
All
personal
right, all right,
attack.
all right.
We ain't
Reset.
got to.
All right, my bad.
No,
Reset.
I'm joking with you. I'm joking with you.
Okay.
It was just a
Reset.
good time to fit it in.
It be like that though. You only so when you're doing something nobody ever did before, and you trying to convince your family, right, of everybody,
Man.
like he just said, hey, all these people working, they all married, they all going down a certain lane in life, and here you come talking about trucks or talking about a marijuana dispensary or talking about anything that's not consistent with a way of life that's been consistent with higher echelon people for generations, right? It's never been done before. It's an anomaly. It seems like a fight. It's too much work. It's just not worth it in those people's eyes until you do it. And then they realize, damn, you know what? You spent your time doing what you wanted to do. When really, I tell everybody, everyone can do what they want to do. Don't focus. Do what you want to do. You only need to make 200-300 a day, realistically. And if you gave your life away to your boss for
Man.
150
Bro.
a day,
Bro.
so
That
certainly you can get out here and make $10-$20 bills
man,
doing whatever.
that $200 to $300 a day and being able to make something from that, that's spot on, bro. That's spot on.
So,
Absolutely.
so what I'm saying, when you look at it as failure, when you're doing something on your own, the money ain't. You're gonna make money regardless. I think those of us that step out and say, okay, I got to do this because it's always worked. And whatever I've done, it's always worked. And the challenges, we can't call them failures, but these are the challenges that you got to go through in order to learn the infrastructure of what is to be, because it hasn't been created. Like you say, hey, all them other podcasts out there, but they ain't me. I don't care about what's going on over there. They do their thing over there. We do our thing over here. And the only way to do it is to, I always say, you don't know till you go. Once you go, then you will know. You don't know until you go.
And I'm gonna say this because we talking about what the women could do right. You don't really come across a woman who's been with a husband that failed at 8 different businesses. Now I'm saying this for a purpose. I want y'all to think about what I'm saying. Who do you know? Some woman who was with a husband, he failed at 8 different businesses. Now I'm gonna tell you what happens normally with folks. You'll have some women who will stick around, but before business number 8, one of these businesses that he do gonna take off, and they gonna get theirs. And now everybody talking about how great they life is and all this type of stuff because something he did took off. Then you have other women who simply quit before he got to the business that took off. He may have failed at the first 2. Then she was like, well, I'm out of here. I done supported you. I ain't going to do it no more. And it was business number 4 that took off. And now he got some other woman who might be living very comfortably or even rich because she was around for business number 4. But realistically, who failed at 8 businesses? Now I'm not saying it's gonna take 8, but I'm just saying, hey, if you try, all you gotta do is have the one good idea that takes off. That's real life. You just gotta have one good idea to take off. You don't know when that's gonna come because we gotta go through trials and tribulations. So I'm gonna say, as a woman, put your family first. If your husband wants to try business, support it. If it fails, support him anyway. If he tries another one, support it. Support it as long as he wants to try. Everybody, there's gonna be some people that stop. 2 of them went bad. I'm done. Okay, now y'all just gonna stay at the regular life. Cool. But then some people gonna keep going, and then 3, 4, or 5 gonna take off. That's how stuff works sometimes. But I'm gonna say, as a woman, you be loyal regardless of what the circumstance is. Make your life about your family instead of your circumstances. And that's something a lot of women don't do. Okay. But the women who become great mothers, they do that. They make life about them, not the circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you think about that, you could be in the projects like the people on this show, but they made life good even though they were in the projects.
That's
You could
right.
be, moved up to the east side, but you make life good because of what's going on between y'all, not the circumstances.
Your
A good
behavior.
woman makes life about her family, not the circumstances that her family is in.
So now it's when it comes to now deliberate parenting, right? So if you know you're going to be a wife, if you want to be a baby mama, if that's your aspiration, you want to be a child, someone's mother to somebody's child or whatnot. You're going to be a parent. So then now you will start to think that, okay, deliberate parenting, just like you go to school for 12 years, you literally have to start teaching people how to parent, because even the parenting tactics, quote unquote, of a perfect household, we see all the time ain't, because I seen people around me saying what Black said, that was married, you understand, but they was imperfect as well. And I think that's what it is we see in marriage, people are looking at marriage as to be a perfect thing. So women that understood that, right, assignment, that this thing is not going to be perfect, right? This thing that I thought was going to be perfect when he wooed you and you was fresh and you know what I'm saying? And then life started lifing. And now you got some real adult decisions to make, right? Because you want to blow this thing up and be independent and, do your own thing, which is your right, right? And be a single mom or whatnot, or be separate, or are you going to stick it out with the man that gave you this thing? And so now, knowing that most women are going to end up that way, you will want to prepare yourself to be the best mom possible, which now you got to educate yourself on certain things. Meaning, if you know you're going to have to make a man greater, that might be the thing. He can already be great, but you still should be in a position as a woman to lend traits that is going to make him better, right? Not about you and being selfish and about the things that you want, especially knowing that, okay, if mental stability is going to be a thing, then okay, then in school, these are the things that need to be tamed, right? There's going to be lifelong adjustments, if you will, but it's something that you can now learn to tame while you're young, instead of you now becoming an adult and then you get with somebody and y'all now learning together. And I think those learns is some men just don't want to deal with certain shit. Like our patience is short. And some women just don't want to deal. You know, patience is short. I think that's the thing. You looking at this marriage is supposed to be this dream thing, hence by how people get married, right? It be focused on the money, got to be elaborate, but it's not focused on the actual behaviors of the marriage. Even the focus being prepared to even raise kids, what that look like.
Okay.
It all
Okay.
should be focused. I land here, I land here. It all should be focused on the man legacy, and retirement. I'll land there. We can get deeper
Okay.
into it later. I could probably do a whole show on it.
No,
But
I was just gonna
that's what
say
it is.
because the whole way we supposed to be celebrating these moms. Okay, we celebrating the things that the
Well,
moms
that's
do
what I'm saying.
well.
I'm celebrating being prepared to
No,
be
no,
a
no.
great
I
mom.
get you, and I'm gonna say, and all that. The thing is, um, to be a great mother, one of the easiest things you can do is be on the husband's program. Because when your kids see it, they're gonna see that y'all were unified. They're gonna see that y'all was together. They're gonna see that y'all was looking out for them as best you could. That's what children see. So if you want to be a great mother and you want to get good results, be on your husband's program. That's number one. Number two, number one really is have a husband. Okay, when you have kids, have a husband. Yes, and I'm gonna say it again. If you get pregnant, that means marry the man that you got pregnant by. If y'all decide to make it work, it's gonna work. See, a lot of people they act like relationships are really hard. These are socially voluntary situations. You got to choose to make it work. If you don't make the choice to make it work, it don't. It's that simple at the end of the day. But if two people choose to make it work, then it's gonna work because you're worried about yourselves and not all these different circumstances around you. Most people ain't gonna make it because they're too concerned about circumstances that have nothing to do with the marriage, rather
You
than
have
worry about the
to
marriage before the
surrender.
circumstances.
You have to surrender. That's what a marriage
Yeah.
is. A marriage is we surrender, right? I give up a certain amount of my independence, right? I'm letting you in on everything. You know, and that's what it is. I'm opening up to you. You opening up to me. Hey, I fall back. You better be there. I'm blindly. You better be there to catch me. I'm not gonna let you hit the floor. That's ultimately what it is. And when you get into marriage, if that's not again what it is, then now what are we doing? You're not even going in with the mind frame to be the best. So again, shout out to the moms, right? Who again understand that there's a level of trust and an honor to being a mom. You know, used to respect people's mom. It don't matter how gorgeous she was, right? There was a level of respect that you would show her because she may not necessarily, putting it out there. She was just a gorgeous woman. You know what I'm saying? But she wasn't flaunting it. She wasn't. She was still loving. She was still a great mom. But she could have killed some of the moms that was actually trying. But she was humble, and that wasn't even her space. She wasn't putting herself out there. She wasn't you know sexualizing herself or none of that type of foolishness, and didn't act that way. Was on a higher level, have a higher morale core. And some moms is just that. Like I said, we used to adorize somebody's mom. You say they mom, you would never put beaten meat and mama in the same sentence. You know what I'm saying? It's just, and nowadays that's like these moms, especially celebrity moms, I could say celebrity moms and non-celebrity moms, put an emphasis on, want to be beautiful still. And you gonna always be beautiful, baby. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to put no sugar on it. You okay as is. Trust me.
Well, the secret to being beautiful is being married, because you always be beautiful to your husband. A lot of people don't get
Always.
it. Now when you don't take that serious and you trying to be beautiful to some men that ain't your husband, that's gonna be a whole different time. Whole
Yeah.
different time.
Or
But
women.
I'm gonna say again, shout out to the mamas who did it right. There are moms who actually show up for their kids. Okay, what do I mean? Your kid got a baseball game after school. Now we can say in the greater thing of life that's not gonna really mean anything. That baseball game may never really mean anything, but his character development is gonna mean a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so when mama show up to the game, that means something. That means my family loved me. That's what that means. And those I said when mama show up to the game, you don't even need dad to show up, because if dad is working and mama's there, the kid automatically accept that dad works so mama can be there. That's what kids do.
Yep.
So shout out to the mamas that show up to the game. All right. And that's whatever it is, whether it's a baseball game, a football game, if it's a girl, might be a cheerleading competition, whatever they got going on. It's about you having the ability to show up for your children. Okay. Kids, it means a lot to children that mama gonna show up. Okay, because dad gonna show up sometime too. Now, if dad happen to be at work, he'll show up too. That's a general thing when it comes to fathers. But mamas should be there in the stands. Okay, and yeah, your kids gonna give you some grief because their mama did this. Your mama, y'all done seen so many celebrities that actually made it into the league, and regardless of what it was really like at the moment, what they talk about when my mama came to the games.
I mean, mamas was smashing teammates and most of them. Mama was still there.
You had to slip that.
I was just about to say shout out to the moms that wasn't again that right messing with their husbands' friends and messing with they kids' buddies and wanting to be really sexualized around other family members and things of that nature. Again, shout out to the humble just moms that just take pride in being a great mom. Right?
Hey, you see how Reset dropped down right before I said
that? So that was deliberate, huh? Ain't no coincidence.
You start talking about mama showing up to games and stuff, he dropped down.
Well, I'm saying, no matter how famous some guy got, when they talk about how mom was in the stands at their high school game, people take that like it's not a big deal. But every time you hear somebody talk about that level of support that he happened to get, it's a huge thing for him. So I'm just saying that, take the lessons what the lessons are. And I'm going to say it's easier to come to the game if you're married. See, if you actually got a husband, it's easier to go to your children's game. Because at the end of the day, when your child is playing or the season is in, you can take time off at work, or you can, reschedule things if you're going to be a working mother, where you still can be off when your child plays. You can do all that when you got a husband. See, I've seen women get away with a lot of stuff because they had a husband that other women don't get to get away with. There's women that have had jobs and they wanted certain days off, and they couldn't get those days off because they ain't had no husband. And there's other women who wanted days off, but they married. So they'll tell them, look, I need these days off. And they'll say, well, we can't give you those days. And they'll just be like, well, I'm not going to come in on those days so you can do whatever you need to do. Hey, well, we'll write you up. Do what you got to do. Why can't she take that stance? Because she got a husband. It's that simple at the end of the day. So women who want to be great mothers, they need certain days off so they can deal with stuff for their kids. When you have a husband, I'm just saying it makes it a whole lot easier because dad going to work, which means mama can take off. It just makes your world a whole lot easier. And it's always good to have a parent when a child has to deal with something. It's always good for them to have a parent with them. It's just that simple. And if it get real serious, then dad gonna take off. Okay. And a lot of folks don't want dad to take off. I'm saying all these adults that have to be dealt with when it comes to your child, a lot of them, they know they don't want dad to take off work. Because if dad take off, that means they got to deal with dad. So, they rather dad just go to work. Because it's different when dad show up.
Yeah. I come with the discipline.
Yeah. No, hold on now. Hold on. We don't need Mr. Crawford coming up here now. We don't need that. we can accommodate you a different way. We can do some accommodations now. We don't need to see Mr. Crawford. But shout out to the moms who treat their child's friends like their child's friends should be treated. Stop trying to get attention from your child's friends. Okay? Stop trying to get compliments from your child's friends. Treat them almost like extra kids. Okay, I'm going to say almost like extra kids because I ain't saying you got to make somebody part of the family. But when you are around your friends, when you are around your child's friends, they should be able to easily develop a respectful relationship with you, because they should have been trained somewhere well themselves. And even if they weren't trained the best, because you encourage people to respect you based on how you act, they will change their behavior when they get around you. Because there's a lot of people who got some knucklehead kids because they parents is knuckleheads, but they get around certain folks and then they family come around, they straighten up and they ain't got to be asked. Why? Because they respect the family that they dealing with. They friend happens to come from a very respectful family. They just straighten up. And you ain't got to ask them. They just do it anyway. And if you tell them something, they'll do it anyway. Y'all know my friend's mama used to tell me stuff, and I had to act like my mama said it. It wasn't always cool at the moment. But what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get into it with my friend mama. No, I'm gonna do what she told me to do. It is what it is. I may not have liked it, but I ain't finna get into it with my friend mama, because I got respect for myself. I got respect for my friend. So now I got to respect his mama. And if she come off as a respectful individual, what do I look like disrespecting her? I mean, have a respectful relationship with the friends of your children. Okay, I ain't saying you got to be everybody's second mama, but there should be a level of respect that's automatically there, and that's real talk.
Definitely. That kind of ties back into a little bit where they should watch how they dress.
Oh,
You got
absolutely,
your
gonna tie
friends,
back into that.
you got your kids' friends over. You might want to be a little bit conscious of that. You might not want to be coming out the shower in your bathrobe with your with your son's friends in the house.
I mean,
You know what I'm saying?
Probably
Wiggling
not the right
everywhere.
time.
I mean, wiggling
Probably not the right
everywhere.
time.
No. But now that says a lot too of even having the wherewithal to check, to put people in check too, right? To know, okay, say that there was an accident, say that she did come out and she wiggling everywhere, and he make a little smart coming out. Oh, damn, miss. Right? She nipped that in the bud immediately. It ain't no.
exactly. I see exactly what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? She nipped that in the bud, you know what I mean? And say, don't never. This was an accident, and nah, don't ever. And then go get her son. And you saw that sometimes there be extremes, and I'm just saying, whatever that is, you're not afraid to put people in check. Hey, sexy, yeah, don't address me in that manner, right? And I get it, the world is crazy. I get it, I do. But they allow everybody in the world to have weapons, men and women.
Yeah.
So you can protect yourself physically. You see all these TV shows. Apparently, women can punch 260-pound, 6-foot men. You know what I'm saying, with one punch and throw them to the ground. So hey, there must be some mystical techniques involved out here that I don't know about. I think the best thing is to just let people know who you are and let them know that you're a classy woman. And that's what I mean by behavior. It ain't so much of what it is that you got, what you wear. It's how you behave. It's how you handle yourself in every situation. Every situation don't have to end with anger and rage, right? Or outrage, or somebody that got your order wrong and it ends up, a whole thing. And these are the behaviors of people that wear certain things or look a certain way. Those are the traditional behaviors. So let's change the behaviors. And I think if we change the behaviors, everything else will follow. You'll realize, man,
Absolutely.
what the hell am I doing? Why is this on? You're going to wake up. Like, why is this on my head out here?
Now,
What's going on?
now I'm gonna say shout out to the women who because we celebrating the mothers. All right. Shout out to the women who know how to conduct themselves at the company picnic. You actually showed up and helped put something together. You put a table up. You put some chairs out or whatever. Well, you probably wouldn't be putting chairs because the guys are probably doing that type of stuff. But you actually brought some dishes that people ain't got to talk about behind your back. Okay? Hence why you probably need to know how to cook. You know what I'm saying? Because when you go to the company picnic, you need to have a dish that everybody ain't laughing at you behind your back about. Okay? You need to be able to present yourself well. Stop trying to be the sexiest person at the company picnic. You're married already.
Man.
Okay. There's a lot of women who know how to dress very well. Matter of fact, put a dress on. Okay. Put a dress on. You know what I'm saying? That's at a
And
company picnic or
not
other
just
place.
any dress. Not just any dress.
Well,
Make sure
notice
you're
I
a little
didn't
bit
say
covered
skirt.
up on that flip.
Yeah, yeah. And notice I didn't say skirt. Put a dress on. Okay. And not a see-through dress. Don't be wearing no quote unquote sundresses to the company picnic.
They can't show up looking like Sierra.
Wiggling all over the place.
Yeah. I mean, let's act like your man is somebody, or let's at least act like they should promote your man. And I'm gonna say this: a lot of women can help themselves if they would learn to act like their husband should be promoted. A lot of y'all don't know. A lot of people don't know have enough game that if they're around a person who's in a management position, of any level, where your husband could really make some form of come up. Maybe he's just a regular employee and would get promoted to being a manager. Maybe he's a manager, but could be promoted to a branch manager of some kind. Maybe he could become an executive, but you act in a way that you make people doubt that they should give him a promotion.
No, he trying to get at you. You got your boss trying to get at you, hubby and shit. He trying to buddy up now. He ain't know who you was.
Yeah, and I'm saying that the rapport you have with your husband in front of you, why would you do anything that would make somebody question his leadership?
Come on.
I got a team of 25 people. Somebody got to get this management position. Why would you ever make somebody doubt that your husband should have that management position?
He management. Why would you?
Yeah. See, I'm a lot of we don't think about how we send subconscious signals out to people. They literally about to hire this dude. They've been to talk about it with him on Monday, but because you done came to the company picnic Saturday, now they
drunk 2
they get to work Monday. Did y'all see how Tim was with his girl?
Man,
Yeah, I really thought he was gonna feel his position correct, but I don't know now.
Bro,
I don't know.
2/5 by herself.
Yeah. And guess what? A good mother makes her husband shine so he can provide more resources to her children. See, them your kids too, right?
Yep.
Come
I
on,
want my
at the end
husband
of
to
the day.
shine so he can bring more resources to the children.
Come on, man.
Everybody ain't got horseback ride money put to the side. Let me just throw that out there. Okay. Make your man look good so he can bring some more money. You want to go shopping anyway, don't you? Don't you want to go shopping?
Hey, Roger, you're making too much sense, man. It's gonna, I don't think they're ready for it.
Well, I'm saying I done seen a lot of good mothers out there, man. In my experience, I done seen a lot of great mothers, but I'm going to say that usually very supportive to their husbands, okay? Which makes it easier for people to do stuff with them. I've even seen people be such great mothers, they take an extra kid on a vacation. Y'all ever had, seen somebody, they got a real close friend, they ask, can their friend go with them to wherever they going? You know what I'm saying? I done seen people do so well that happened. I remember I had, it was 3 of my buddies came with me to a family reunion. And I'm talking about an out of town family, not something that was in Chicago. We left the state. 3 of my buddies came with me on one family reunion, But you got to have decent mothers for stuff like this to happen. Because let's look at this. If I want to invite my buddies to the family reunion, how can my parents say yes if they don't have decent mothers? See, now for them, it's a risk. Yeah, we would take them, but it's kind of a risk. So now you don't even want to take the chance of having somebody else's kids with you. See what I'm saying? Too much stuff to figure out.
Yeah, you got to switch.
Yeah. A lot of people ain't looking for law problems. You know what I'm saying?
No.
They ain't looking for no legal problems. So it is what it is.
Man, I'm gonna go down here, kick it, eat some barbecue, throw the pole in the water,
Yeah.
and come on back home.
Yeah. Can Paul come to the circus with us? Man, you start thinking about Paul mama. You know what?
We
We want to take him, but that's okay. We want, he just, next time. Next time, don't never come. Shout out to Afro Merchant. He said, Tim like them hoes. Tax. Hashtag long live Tim. Hashtag long live habitualized devils. But Tim almost got that promotion. Though. Tim almost got that promotion. But that picnic, man, just messed the whole thing up, man. Okay. Shout out to Trail Bennett. He said Gary, Indiana is not an out-of-state trip, Raj.
Hey, like going from St. Louis to East St. Louis, man.
Hey, technically it is. I'm gonna just say that. Technically it is.
Got to be. Y'all want to see y'all Bears? Y'all gonna have to come over. You gonna have to take that trip.
Yeah. Technically it is, man. Technically it is. Okay. No, but my friends had decent mothers. Now, matter of fact, is my memories coming back to me about it. They were technically adults at the time. They were adults, but they did go with us to a family reunion. But even though that they had made it to their 18th birthdays already, think about it. If they don't have good relationship with my parents, if their mothers are off a little bit, you're not gonna want to take them. Just is what it is. Cause they my friends, but it's a family reunion. My family is gonna be there, so it ain't just about me.
Yeah, I got to protect them. I can't break them, but they let the family rough them up, because that's how it is. Once you hear it, bro, I'm like, hey, now look, I'm just telling you how things can go.
Yeah, absolutely. So my thing is, you got to be realistic about all this stuff, and without a good relationship with mothers, a lot of stuff ain't gonna necessarily happen because it's too many risks out here. It's just too many risks.
Can I add something, Roger? Can I add something?
Go right ahead, my brother.
Shout out to the mothers who do not make it hard for the fathers of their children to be fathers. Shout out to y'all who are actually trying to do everything you can to strengthen and encourage those relationships and make sure that they have an excellent relationship with with the child's father. Shout out to y'all, because that's a huge part of being a mother.
Absolutely. Shout out to the mothers smart enough to let their child learn from dad, so in case they run into problems later on in life, their sons are actually proficient enough to look out for them.
Yep.
Because it's one thing to love your mama, and so you'll take something off her plate. It's another thing to love your mama and you just ain't got it. So it don't make no difference how you feel. See, because that's where reality set in. Your mama's struggling. Yeah, mama, I know you're struggling, but I ain't got it. Now I can feel guilty about not having it. I don't know what that's gonna do for you because I still ain't got it.
And Roger, what about shout out for the mothers who put some money aside for that rainy day?
Absolutely.
Man.
You out here as a woman, and you didn't had a terrible relationship with the children's father. Now the children ain't make it to where they haven't hit anywhere close to their full potential. Now your car go out. Well, son, I need you to I need to borrow your car for about a week or so, blah blah blah. Well, mama, my car ain't no good right now. My car in the shop. What's wrong with your car? Nothing. I'm just trying to come up with the money so I can get it out the shop. See, you done made it hard on your. Now maybe your son would have loaned you the car. He just can't actually get you the car to loan it to you. Why? Because you didn't want him to have a good relationship with his father, so he can just simply be a better person and to be more responsible and to be more proficient or more efficient, to learn and make money a little bit better, a little bit easier. Hey, you didn't want all that. But now you need to drive his car for a week and he can't even get it to you. He want to give it to you, but he can't give it to you because he about 5'35", and 47 cents short. Hey, I want to do it for you, mama, but I ain't got it. You know, and I've heard a lot of people say, stuff about you feeling guilty and all that, and I just be wondering, like, what does that do? Because your situation didn't change. Okay, I can feel guilty that I ain't got it, but your situation ain't gonna change, so I don't even worry about feeling guilty. I don't even worry about it. You know what I'm saying? I just move on.
I guess that's just emotional support through the process, I guess, man.
Yeah, ain't nothing changed though. You know. Hey, mama, I feel guilty I ain't got it for you, but I ain't got it. It is what it is, you know? So, as being a good mother definitely allows a woman to live a much better lifestyle for sure. You know what I'm saying? That's just real talk, you know? And if people can see her for something other than sexual purposes, I think that goes a long way. Because a lot of women right now, they do focus on stuff where sex is included. When are you gonna put yourself in a position where people can see something besides sex being included? You know, it's okay to know how to count, y'all. I promise you.
That's right.
Y'all, it's
Shout out to
okay.
them mamas, boy. That was deliberate and didn't just leave you sitting in front of Sesame Street and Rugrats. You understand? They actually was deliberate in their parenting. They made sure you knew how to count, read, and comprehend. Right? They was really sharpening up your Wolverine claws, because knowing that you are a Wolverine and not necessarily pampering you and babying you. No, they were really real with you. Not harsh, not mean by no means, and not evil, but just real, and did the best that they could to prepare you for the world that you were about to experience. Everybody out here don't live a perfect life.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, that's real talk. That's real talk. You know.
Just being real, for real. Like that definitely shout out to those mothers who just really keep it raw with their children, let them know the realities of the world that they're getting into, regardless of how their life turned out. Those who are able to just pass along that information and try to pass down that wisdom so that their children can avoid some of the pitfalls that they fell into in life. Shout out to them.
And I'm gonna say shout out to the mamas if they didn't have nothing else, but they gave their kid belief. They
Man,
told their kids on a regular basis, y'all can do anything you want to do. And a lot of them put a little extra umph on it. They said, man, I sacrificed X, Y, and Z just so you could do anything you want to do. You go out there and you strive for it. Okay. If it don't work out, don't worry about it. Mama got your back. That can take a lot of pressure off a person trying to make it in society, y'all. To know mama got their back. So I can really go out here and try this thing. And if it fail, I'm just gonna move in with mama. I'm gonna be all right. Now you can take greater risk at that particular point. Now, I ain't saying everybody got to be super risky, but more risk. If it works out, more reward. Okay. It's a little bit easier to know mama got your back. Okay. It's a little bit easier to know mama believe in you. And it's definitely a little bit easier to know that you got some place to fall back on and you ain't one of the mamas that just needed this kid to get to 18 so they can get out. Because the kid
Shout
gonna
out.
pick up on that and the kid gonna remember that, you know?
Shout out to the mamas that keep kids in kids spaces and not treat kids, don't have kids in adult spaces and adult activity, adult music and entertainment, right? Just moms keep kids in kids spaces that know
Hey,
how to
that's real talk.
identify what that is. You understand? I think it kind of go back to dress, but it's not just dress. It's about what we watch, what you feed your kids. That's why I was talking about intention. I think my phone it rang, but I was talking about being intentional about how you raise your kids, what you feeding them mentally and in their bellies. And there's just this deliberate. It's like we got all. That's why I was saying we have all the information. And when we asked that question, are they better off then or now? That was a really great question because you really can see the difference. You have all the opportunity to raise children, right? And you can argue the world is crappy or whatnot, but as far as the circumstances, this is the best time to have children and raise children, because I don't see them stop building. I'm sure y'all in city somewhere, and they are not building stuff, right? They're not stopping infrastructure. No one's still not purchasing things. So either there's a blind eye trying to be turned, or there's deliberate control right here in our face. And I would gather there's deliberate control right here in our face. So we need moms. We need women to want to have children. And I think there's going to be a new age of women that do have children and are deliberate in their parenting, that understand the type of children that they're about to raise and why they are raising. I'm not raising you for the system. I'm raising you for this legacy, which is going to be moved, that should be led by the man. There's a plan in place. Once that plan is put in place, like I told you, it's like surrender. And when your woman surrenders to her motherhood, it's a beautiful thing. But when you can't play the card of mother and hyena, it you understand? Like you can't play mother, and we're supposed to show you this motherlode respect, but then you out here with the gangsters cussing them out, drinking with them, smoking with them. You understand? But you his mother, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, you can't be talking to me and want to put your finger all in my face. And I want to show you respect as a mom, but because you really ain't acting like a mom, you more of a homie. It's it's really challenging. So respect to the moms who stay moms, man, and they deliberate about their parenting. They know lanes. They keep their kid in kid lane, and they keep adults in adult lane.
Yeah. And shout out to the moms who let their children be children. I'm talking about all these women who are not saying slick stuff in front of their kids so their kids feel guilty. Man, I don't know how I'm going to pay this rent this month, so you can get your kids to be worried about how they going to pay the rent. No. Be the mother. Let your kid be a kid. They got to deal with their own rent one day. Why are you trying to make them worry about your rent? Let your child be a child. Okay? It's all types of things that women do for those type of situations. I don't know what we gonna do, y'all. Cadillac is gonna go out any day now. I don't know what we gonna do. And you be trying to get children to worry about your concerns because you didn't properly prepare for what's going on in your life. Now let the kids be kids, man. They got to deal with because the unfortunate part about becoming an adult, I'm not gonna say it's all bad. But the unfortunate part about becoming an adult, once someone recognizes you as an adult, ain't no going backwards in their mind.
You hear me?
You don't get to go be a kid again. It's over with. Once they see you as an adult, it's over. Now people who don't know you, once you're an adult, they just gonna see you as that probably from Jump Street. But when your auntie let it go that that you're an adult now, not a child, you ain't getting it back. When your grandma see you as an adult, and you're not giving up that kid, ain't no going back. So when you allow children to be children, it allows them to be in a place where other people can see them as a child that much longer. So you're helping your children out in a lot of ways because they ain't getting it back. If you not doing what you're supposed to do and your kids is wilding out, people might start looking at your kid as an adult, but they're only 14, 15, 16 years old. Not ready for the world yet. Don't put your kids in those type of situations. Let them be kids, man. And stop trying to get them to pay for you. You supposed to be paying for them.
Shout out to the moms who avoided teen pregnancies for their daughters.
Hey, real talk.
Shout out to them.
Yeah. Because that's a challenge. I saw a young lady. She went to a court show. She was like 16. She wanted to be a mama. They gave her some doll that she had to respond to because they got all this, technology in the doll now. So now she got to do stuff when the kid would be quote unquote crying, or she had to change the diapers when the kid needed to be changed and all that. So she's doing all this stuff like it's a real doll, but they got this monitoring system. Now the mother took her to court, and this is what the court gave the child. They said the girl came back within 24 hours. She ain't want nothing to do with kids at that point. She at first she was saying, "Okay, I got what it takes to have a kid." Then they kind of explained some stuff. She was backing off a little bit. Okay, we all trying to say I ain't got enough money, but she still wanted to have a kid. They gave her that doll, and 25 hours later, she said she don't even want to babysit nobody kids. Now I'm gonna say that probably was the child of a single mother herself, and as bad as her single mother is, she at least had the common sense to take us somewhere where she can get a message that having a kid on your own ain't gonna be a good move. So yeah, you can start off wrong, but that don't mean you got to stay wrong. Okay.
It's gonna be challenging. And if you're ready for this challenge, hey, let me see if you ready for this challenge.
No. Cause it's a big world out here. You know.
Big world.
And if you want black people to look good, how about you be a better mother? A lot of women talk about how black people is, but you don't want to be a better mother. How are we supposed to get a better community without you voluntarily becoming a better mother? And y'all know what? It's free. You change your attitude to be a better mother is literally free. It don't cost you a dime. You know, back in the day, people cared a little bit more. You know, Billy would play with Johnny for a long time, and then next thing you know, Billy could get invited for dinner. You know, that world could come back, but we have to make it come back.
They gotta leave them switches at home.
Yeah.
These is young folk. This ain't even the the world. Every generation, it seems like the supremacy movement. Every generation got their finger on our women and our kids, and by the time the women and kids come to, I don't say it's too late, but it's like, wow, the better portion of your life you've been blinded, and it always turned back to black men. I always say, okay, since it's always gonna turn back to us anyway, we just gotta be prepared when they wake up. I don't know. It can't be no more than that, because we already doing what we need to do. We can't do no more than what I can't do no more than what I'm already doing. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, fighting the fact that I'm trying to unblind y'all. So I can't do no more than what I'm already doing. It's just now once you get unblinded, there's this, I know it sounds crazy, I'm talking in code kind of, but there's this unknown support system now that you have to give people who, quote unquote, have seen the light. I think that's why a lot of people go to Christianity, because it's easier. There's a book, there's a manuscript on when you finally find the light. There are other stories involved that can help you, through this journey. But when it's real deal, life in today's time, I don't think nothing has prepared us for, even though we can refer back to biblical times, I would just say that it's just the world cycling. Even in today's time, it's cycling to a new regime. And we are in the midst of a new regime. So meaning should go right back to, if you want to populate properly, then it means you're going to have to find a husband. Women are going to have to find a man that she can count on. But guess what? This man understands the assignment. He's going to be more prepared, right? You more prepared, because it ain't about what we thought it was. We know now that it's about building back properly, having kids, healthy kids. How do we get to that? We want to have healthy, intelligent, successful children, and they don't have to run off to somebody else's group in order to survive. We'll supply them with the resources that they need right here within our community. Now, our men are moving properly. Our women understand the assignment. When the kids get here, they're going to understand the assignment, and then that cycle should rinse and repeat itself. And we'd be okay. I know it sounds really simple, but it really is.
Hey, man, some things are simple. Some people just don't want it to be simple. But I'm going to end this right here, y'all, because, most of the guests have already gone, and you actually just gave me a great idea for a show that I might do tomorrow. So, you know what, y'all? Shout out to all the good mothers out there. Okay, shout out to all the good mothers. I know Mother's Day was yesterday. But, hey, I wanted to say some good things about some mothers, so anybody who hear this, you should start having an idea of what a good mother actually looks like. Okay? But I'm going to let y'all make some final statements. There's only got two of y'all here. Bron, you can go real quick since Creator just talked. You got any final statement you want to make?
Yeah. In the midst of all, what we have alluded to as far as some of the negatives that we get from moms, definitely shout out to all the great mothers out there because it's just a lot of you. And so, hope y'all had a great Mother's Day. Hope you have many, many more to come. And y'all just say that for my closing statement.
Okay. Cool. Creator, any last words you want to give?
Just real quick, man. Happy if they want to celebrate Happy Mother's Day, but that should be on a daily basis. I love you should be indeed and not just word. So take that statement seriously. Shout out to all the mothers out there because without the mothers, this player guy that you're listening to right now wouldn't be here at all. So I bless all the mamas out there to help get me to where I am right now. God bless you. Good night.
All right, that's real talk. That's real talk, y'all. Shout out to everybody. Okay, and I know for some people, I'm gonna say this: if you're a man and you find it difficult to listen to a show where we celebrate the mamas, ask yourself what you're doing. Because there's mothers who did it right. Whether it was your mama or somebody else's mama, we should celebrate those mothers at the end of the day. Okay, the ones who did it right should be celebrated, and that's how you give other people a message of what they should want to become. So can't never say enough about the good mothers, and that's real talk. Y'all have a good and wonderful rest of y'all day. I'm gonna try to catch back up to where I should be because it's been a heck of a lot of stuff been going on since Friday. I say a whole lot been going on since Friday. But we trying to catch back up, y'all. We trying to catch back up. But knock off all that vacation talk. We ain't doing that. Okay. We ain't doing that. And I'm gonna say shout out to Bronx and Great Black Reset again. Yeah, I was sweating on Friday. I was sweating, but they did a good job. They did a good job.
Yeah, it was a really good show, man. It was a really good.
Hey,
I think I lost 3 pounds sweat. Yeah. What? Say it again, Brock. Say it again.
I said I was sweating too. We got the first two on the panel.
They did good, man. It was a really good, flavorful, a good flavorful show, man.
Yeah, I think I lost 3 pounds Friday, y'all. I was sweating.
Ed McMahon did a great job. Okay.
Oh
man. And since Great Black Reset ain't here, he was Ed McMahon. Y'all have a good rest of y'all day. Long live habitualized couples. I'm Roger. I'm right, and I'm out.